everybody, and welcome to the newest indoor adventure in Ghostbusters. Not just the regular ones, the Really Real Ghostbusters in TerraVision, Part 5. Today is February 25th, 2023, and you are loved. And that is a very important thing that we like to remind each and every single one of our viewers and listeners at the beginning of each and every single one of these games. If this is your first time joining us, you can go to youtube.com/indooradventures to check up on all of the VODs of each of the games that we have played up until this point, or you can go towards anywhere audio casts are being made available for free. You can find us there under the same moniker. And speaking of things that are being made available for free, if you go to patreon.com/indooradventures, you can check up on our after show called Nights in the Courtyard, where we'd answer questions not only from each other, but also from the community. So if you have any questions for myself or any of these other fine folk, you can again go to our Patreon, patreon.com/indooradventures. But that's just to hear the answers to your questions. Where do you post them? The Twitch chat to the side, obviously a great place, but it can move pretty fast sometimes. So the easiest way that you have is to actually join us on our Discord. The link can be found in the Twitch chat to the side or in the description of this video or audio cast down below. Feel free to join us on there, post some Nights in the Courtyard, and we will do our best to respond to those questions. But let's say you already support us on Patreon, you already support us on YouTube and Twitch and all of those other wonderful places, and you're trying to think to yourself, where can I go to help support this fantastic show even more? Guess what, Acorns? I got your back. Quite literally, in fact, because if you go to indooradventure.redbubble.com, we got t-shirts, we got posters, we got mugs, we got crop tops, throw pillows, shower curtains, aprons, clocks, and right now we also do have face masks with the symbol of Tiamat upon them, designed by our very own Cyberwolf1201, where all of the proceeds of all of our merch is currently going to help support Doctors Without Borders, because I don't know if you've looked outside the last couple years. It's a little weird. Doctors Without Borders. It's a great cause. But that is it for my opening spiel. So hey, Ted, who you playing today?
Oh, well, on a big stretch of the imagination, my name is Ted, and I will be playing Ted, and we both use he, him pronouns.
All right, and I'm just now looking at the list in chat. Hey, everybody, it's me, SirHeckalot. I am playing Natalie Collins tonight, as per usual, and both of us use she, they pronouns.
I am M. I use any pronouns, and today I'll be playing Mallory, who's been gone for a second, and she uses she, her pronouns.
And I am the indoor adventurer, he, him. And tonight, I shall be playing as Maurice Williams. We both go by the he, him pronouns.
Muted. And I'm muted. I'm Lex, and I'm playing the Ghostmaster. Woo! The person who controls everything in this RPG. The RPG that we're playing is the Ghostbusters movie tie-in RPG released in 1986 by West End Games. Uses a simple D6 system. If you're new here, I encourage you to Google it. It's kind of fun. And if you're not new here, you would know that there's a way for audience members to participate in the game that we're doing this evening for the low price of just 1,000 channel points. You can give a brownie points to our characters. Brownie points are how they increase rolls, level up, and also is kind of their health. It's really a catch-all pool of resources. So feel free to give if you'd like to. The generosity of our viewers has allowed our characters to level up, I think, just recently. So that was fun.
Yeah.
And we got a brownie point.
A brownie point.
Just when you use brownie points, let us know who it's for in the side chat.
Yes, otherwise, who could it? I'll take it. I mean,
but Ghostmaster brownie points.
No.
We all got 5 already.
Damn.
Wow. So, like I said, we'll be leveling it up soon enough. But gosh, yeah, this is the Really Real Ghostbusters. Have you ever seen a Joe Dante movie? Yeah, this game is like that. But what happened last time on the Really Real Ghostbusters part 5? 4?
4 last time.
We're on episode 5, everyone. Yeah, what did happen last time? I don't remember. It was too long ago. Someone, please remind me.
Well, I mean, having wrapped up the case at the Natural History Museum,
Mm.
we were on our way driving through horrible traffic in our Winnebago when we noticed that people were running and screaming from a nearby subway station, to see this giant boom box that had animated and gotten little like cartoon hands and was terrorizing the streets based on whatever track it was playing. Um, Having defeated that, we went down into the subway station and fought a bunch of little bubble letters and little eyeballs and like all kinds of like weird little ghost things before finding the cat bus, the cat train, um, that Natalie got ghost zapped by. So that was a fun thing.
Yeah. Then we went back to our headquarters, and in Maurice's infinite wisdom, decided to take the device that we extracted from the cat train, which was very clearly the thing that made it a cat train.
Turned it
And
from a normal train into a cat train.
Yeah. So again, think of cat bus, but a train. And then decided to put it into an old Galaga or Gradius.
It was
I think
Galaga.
Galaga.
It was
Yeah.
Galaga.
Galaga machine to trap it. I guess I think that was the logic. But then it started animating, and the little spaceships from Galaga started to push themselves out of the screen. One of them is now kept in a raccoon trap in the basement of the Coin King.
Yeah, we just
Um,
left it there.
And then we were met by Mr. Belvedere from, I believe, was he from the Nakatomi Corporation or from
The parent company, Omnicorp.
Omnicorp? Omnicorp, yes.
But I mean, really, Mr. Belvedere is from the 1986 to 1989 sitcom Mr. Belvedere.
Correct. I thought that was too much on the nose. I wasn't going to go there,
Sure.
but either way, fair enough. So basically, it's like, I will give you a lot of money if you come deal with my missing person case. Called us, we didn't answer, left a letter, and then showed up at our place of business. And it's like, no, we can leave right now to go do that. And we talked him into a $20,000 a day retainer with a $100,000 bonus on completion of this job. So that was great. And then now we're leaving to go do that, all while still having to deal with the potential half ghost ally here, in that, we found out that what happened to Natalie seems to be a thing that cults would use to, like, basically work the opposite of a proton pack to instill power into, like, a medium who would use that instilled power to summon spirits in, like, a cultist way. And this seems to be a more modernized version of that using technology, which is what the cat bus thing was, but somehow also now has inflicted them. So we'll see what happens from that as well. Good times.
Oh gosh, I'm glad you recapped it, because as you were saying that, I'm like, oh yeah, and that happened. That also happened. Wow.
We did a
Would you-
lot.
Woo. Goodness. What an episode that was. You all picked out some equipment and piled into the Winnebago. Don't wait. Did somebody go in the limo? Did Maurice go in the limo?
Oh yeah, Maurice definitely went in the limo. Are you kidding?
Somebody had to go in the limo.
You know,
I mean,
what if this ends up being like they're leading us into a trap? You know, you got to have somebody on the inside.
Mm-hmm.
it's true. Lynn Belvedere, Esquire, is heading there in the limo with you. Or, oh no, I have a better idea. Maurice is in the limo because there's a limo driver. You know, they know where to go. But Maurice is going to get into the Winnebago because he needs to direct you folks. This is a time before GPS. So what are you going to do?
Oh, that's true. Yeah.
And thank you, chat. We almost forgot about Maurice winning MTV Spring Break by
Tickets.
staying on the phone in the car phone and not helping us fight the ghosts initially to win us all a trip to MTV Spring Break in Miami, Florida.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We deserve a vacation.
Totally. And yeah, I think it's in March. It's the end of March. Starship and Mr. will be playing.
Yep.
Incredible.
They got
Yes.
the hottest singles this year. Come on.
Uh,
So you're all piling into the vehicles. I think the limo probably pulls away. The limo driver is just like, "Oh, hey, buddy. There's some drinks in the side cooler over there if you want to help yourself. And let me know if you need anything else." And then he has one of those little like little barrier window things in between the driver's cabin and the main cabin. You just press that button over there, and I'll roll down the window. You can tell me whatever you want.
Oh, Maurice is having a great time.
Yeah, there's Coors Light in there. Come on.
That's a working man's drink.
It's true. Um, the there should be a beer in this. This is a kid show. But meanwhile,
It was a kid show in the 80s. They could still show smoking on TV. It's fine.
oh, that's
that's
true.
true.
Wow. There's at the same time, everyone else or most of the other characters are piling into the Winnebago, and Mr. Belvedere comes up. He's like, so I see this is your mode of transportation.
Yep.
Oh, yeah. Then he sort of like looks it over. He's like, oh, how utilitarian. And he and he goes to get in. Does he get to sit up front, or does somebody else take the passenger side seat?
Who's driving? That's a better question.
That's a very good question.
Well, it's either gonna be you or I. So who's
I
driving?
was like, I'm fine. Yeah, I'm fine to drive.
All right, then I'll stay in the back in case we have to jump out of the car again to deal with another ghost in the middle of traffic.
Jeez.
Did you want us just real quick point of logistics, Lex? What did you want us to do with the stuff we're throwing in the Winnebago? Did you want us to pull that out or just note it somewhere? Or do you care?
Oh, in terms of the
Like
roll
what we
20,
bring.
you can pull it out of the deck and just put it down on the play surface. I think that's how we did it last time.
We did,
And
but that's what led to.
But I
everything
figured
that
it out. I figured out roll 20, some of it. I can do it again. Gosh dang it. So yeah, I would just do that.
Okay.
And
Cool.
yeah, so as I recall, the passenger side seat in the Winnebago is like it's like on a swivel.
Massive. Yeah.
Yeah, it's a huge chair and it's like on a 360-degree swivel for some reason. So he just sits in it and it kind of is like, oh, I see. Well, wow, isn't that interesting? What a motor vehicle you folks have. So I would just pull on to Fifth over here and I can direct you to the building. It's easy to spot. It's one of the largest on the skyline currently.
All right. Hand over hand. Goes over.
The vehicles pull away from Coin King, the arcade. And it's just one of those things where the camera stays on the arcade, on the front of the arcade after the vehicles pull away, and there's like silence for about 30 seconds. And then a cab pulls up, and stepping out of it, smoking a cigarette, is Mallory.
Glad I finally got here. That was quite an ordeal. Can't wait to tell everybody about it.
If you go up to the front door, it's locked.
Do I have a key? I don't remember.
You do have a key, yes. We established this last time you showed up and everyone was gone. This is going to be a running gag.
I'm pretty sure that's why Mallory has a key, if anything.
Oh, they don't seem to be here. They've taken my Winnebago. Hope they're driving it well. What am I doing here? And am I trying to figure out where they went?
They probably left a note It's the 80s. That's the only way to do it, you know?
Yeah,
Like,
leaving a note, and if
Yeah.
they had given like a business card or something, would like kind of left that with it too.
oh, sure. Yeah, totally. Uh, so that'll be there. Actually, I'm going to do the same thing I did last time, but I'll do it to Ted
Hmm.
instead of Heck this time. Mallory picks up the note on the counter with the business card pinned to it. Ted, would you please read the note verbatim?
Sure, sure. The note says, Mallory, I hope things worked out okay with your oven, I guess. This guy's got a really fat paycheck, and then I will write in like all caps 20K a day retainer, 100K bonus upon completion. So we left immediately.
Nice.
Do not open the raccoon trap in the basement. See you there, Ted.
Oh
Raccoon
no.
trap. We have a basement?
Oh, there's definitely a basement. That's where they got it. That's where all the broken arcade machines and all the
Oh
extra like
yeah.
parts are kept, right?
Mallory had no idea. Ah,
As if on cue, after you read that, it's one of those things where you like look over towards the basement door, which is like ajar slightly, and down the basement you're rustle, rustle, rustle. Like
I
like
love raccoons.
something's rustling around in a cage. You could just hear it muted from upstairs.
How how seriously how serious does this message seem? Like, really don't open the raccoon trap? Or like probably don't.
I mean, you
Like
can
a
see in it.
suggestion.
It's like a wired mesh.
Yeah,
Well,
you could.
she's not down there yet,
Oh,
right?
okay.
She's still upstairs.
Yeah,
I'll go check it out.
I was gonna say, yeah, it's. I don't know. It's like it is obviously, I'd say, written in a rush because we're like leaving immediately.
Yeah.
Um, then I think to myself in the Winnebago, I probably shouldn't have mentioned the raccoon trap in the basement. It'll be fine.
It'll be fine.
Cuts back to
What
the
could go
arcade.
Yeah,
wrong?
cuts back to the basement door opening slowly. Mallory being like, "We have a basement," and stepping downstairs.
Wow. Would you look at that?
Um,
Basement.
you turn the lights on in the basement. I mean, I assume you turn the lights on in the basement.
Oh yeah.
And the fluorescents like flicker on down there, and you see that there's been a bunch of so there looks like there is a bunch of junk down there, but a lot of the stuff by the far wall has been cleared away, and there's an arcade cabinet that's sitting there. Everything else is cleared away from it, but the arcade cabinet is unplugged, and the cord is just sitting next to it. And then on the and it's a Galaga arcade cabinet. And then on the as you're sort of walking down, you hear that rustling again. You look over, and there's the raccoon trap, and there's this weird, like geometric creature. It looks like pixels that have come to life. And it's trapped inside this thing, and it's just like banging around on the sides of it trying to get out.
Well, I wonder why they called it a raccoon trap when this is clearly not a raccoon. I'll just leave that there. It's probably fine. Okay, so I am interested in making a bunch of money to uh do I need to do anything at the arcade before I rejoin everybody?
Oh, not at all. You can grab some equipment, but I think that you don't need to do anything else there if you don't want.
Sure, I will grab equipment.
Sure. As you're going over to grab equipment, which is probably in a room off to the side upstairs, there's the what was it called? The Aura Visualizer. Is that what that equipment is called?
Yeah.
That is it's not turned on, but it looks like it was just used. And there's like what is that freaking printer readout? The like really low grade
chip
printer
sheet?
readout. Yeah,
Dot
something like
matrix?
that. Yeah, like a dot matrix printer, right? There's like a
Right.
dot matrix thing that's like connected to it, and it's just like has printed out this stuff that looks very worrying. I mean, you can tell as someone who's a professional Ghostbuster, you have read this stuff before and you see it and you're like, wow, these readings are very supernatural and very strange. That's odd. Wonder where these came from.
Huh. Like, do I think it printed itself out, or like someone printed it and left it?
Ooh, maybe it's printed itself out. You never know in this line of work, but
It's true.
it's probably that someone printed it and left it.
Okay, okay. Not too worrisome then.
Yeah. Anyway, yeah, grab whatever equipment you want to get.
Sure. And I don't remember how to do this, but I have 38 brownie points, and I wish to use them to do a thing to my stats.
Ah, a thing. In order so to level up, a character can use
Thank you.
30 of their brownie points and increase one of their traits by 1 point.
Ooh.
If you're in roll 20. Go over to your
I
character
am.
sheet and you should be able to you should just be able to tick up one of your traits after you lower your brownie points by the appropriate amount.
Cool. I'm sure having only 8 brownie points will not be a problem at all whatsoever. So I'm
It'll be
gonna do
fine.
that.
Yeah.
And I'll put a point into moves.
Moves. You've got the moves, you've got the equipment. You're heading out the door. Uh, you wanna grab a cab, you wanna take the subway. You're pretty sure you know where this building is. You've seen it before.
Uh, I don't know. What's the most efficient way?
Let's see. It is remind me. So it's New Year's Day, but it's probably like 5 o'clock in the afternoon. So it's dark because it's ugh, Northern Hemisphere at 5 o'clock in the afternoon in January.
Gross.
Ugh, so
Horrible.
cold. So cold, so dark. Because it's a New Year's Day and things are a little quieter, especially after last night, it probably wouldn't be too difficult to do a cab if you want to do a cab again.
Okay. Yeah, let's cab.
Okay. You hail another cab. You get on in. And that cab pulls away. We cut back to the limousine holding Maurice. Only Maurice. It's just this gigantic limousine interior. It's just Maurice stretching out in there.
Oh, it is like as a kid when you look out the window and you imagine like a thing running at the speed of the car so that way you can entertain your brain. Maurice, this is probably like one of the few times he's ever been in a limo. First time he's been in a limo since coming to New York. He's imagining what it's like to be like a bigwig, like what would it be like if this
Yeah.
was his everyday? So he's just like he's all like he's putting on somebody else's well-worn coat, like he's already like this is perfect. This is what I want. Free drinks, free food. He's living it up inside this limo. So he doesn't even know where they're going, to be honest. He knows that he's getting paid $20,000 in 1980s money to do this. And
That's a lot of money.
they're feeding him the whole time. This is great. Like
I
by the
love
time that he
food.
arrives, he's probably gonna be like a little tipsy. He'll like hiccup and some bubbles will come out of his mouth. They won't show him drinking on screen, but
Yeah.
the parents watching will know what that means.
Mhm.
Oh yeah, but he's feeling fine. He's got all of the ghost busting equipment that he needs. He has his proton pack. He brought an infrared camera and of course the beach kit because you never know when you're gonna need a beach ball or an umbrella. Maybe some sunscreen. It's January. Ghosts are weird.
Listen, it triples your fun at the beach.
Yeah, it triples my
So
fun at the beach. This is a great card to have.
yeah.
What if
It's so specific, but it's also such a big bonus.
it's
So
an incredible. It's a ×3 multiplier to fun.
yeah.
That's insane. Maurice obviously is min-maxing by taking this item. Now he's getting ready. There was a ghost that sent him to the Arctic, and then he had to fight that ghost with another ghost's power to be in the hot heat. So, beach could be. It could be there.
The limo pulls up to this massive building. Let's see if I've got a description for it. I actually don't remember if I did or not. Did I write anything specific for the tower description? I think I was thinking about it because I'm modeling it after a real building, and I was like, oh yeah, I'll just look at it and then I'll write a cool description based on that. But then I think I forgot. So as you round the corner, you see it. This gigantic black building, all black steel girders that are on the outside. Like you can see the frame of it, but it's on the outside of the building, and glass, like dark tinted glass, going up 100 stories with these two long antennas positioned at the top of the building, making it even taller than that. Just this massive monolithic structure. The car pulls into a on-site parking garage in the basement of the building. And the guy's just like us. The window rolls down to the driver's cabin, and the limousine driver is just like, so you go in, and they got most of the food and the shops are on the first and second floors, but if you just wait in the lobby area, I'm sure that Belvedere will be there with the rest of your friends to give you the other details about the job or where he's supposed to go. I mean, I don't know. I just drive the car.
And Maurice thinks to himself, I'm usually this guy. I should treat him with respect and dignity. No, he just pats him on the shoulder. He's like, hey, thanks. Here's a tip. And he gives him rustles around in his pocket, and there's a couple coins, a crunched up $1 bill. And he just sort of hands it to the guy this is all the money I have. Sorry.
Guy's like, oh, thanks, buddy. And he points over to where the elevator is to go up into that part of the building.
Yeah. Maurice will, I think he'll he has I imagine it's fresh popcorn. Because this is a cartoon and you can have anything inside of this limousine, there's just a little bag, and chat said designer peanuts.
Oh, designer peanuts.
I think that Maurice is definitely eating some designer peanuts.
Got some cashews in there. Ooh.
Or some candied nuts.
Oh my god.
I know, he's feeling ritzy. And he's just gonna pack on duffel bag of his tools, his camera and his beach supplies. He's gonna start kind of making his way in, see if he can get the lay of the land on this.
The only thing I'm going to add to this in terms of the nut conversation is I like the idea that they're in the limousine and their own little fancy holder, dish or whatever. And you tried to take the dish out as you were leaving the vehicle, and you realized you couldn't because it's built in. So instead you just took handfuls of them and put them in the pockets of your jumpsuit.
Oh, for sure. That is an unofficial piece of equipment that I have during this mission is bags of nuts. Pocket full of nuts.
You better write that down.
Yeah.
Oh, sweet
where would I be without my pocket full of nuts?
Okay. I'm gonna say pocket full of nuts times 3. So 3 of my pockets are currently filled with designer nuts.
Very good. As you get out, the limousine pulls away. I guess he has more jobs to do, so he's pulling out of the parking lot. Pretty packed parking lot. As you're walking through, the first thing you notice is how freaking cold it is in there. I mean, it's a indoor parking garage, right? But it's they don't heat it at all. But I guess that's not super weird. It just feels just as York. Yeah, it just feels very cold in there. And out of the corner of your eye, you think you see a strange glow for a moment. look over, and there is like a puddle, not frozen because it's not that cold, but there's a puddle at the end of one of the, like, in one of the corners of the parking garage, and there's just this weird luminescence coming from it.
He'll take out his infrared camera and like zoom in.
Yeah. You start zooming in on it. The luminescence begins to grow brighter. And then suddenly you hear ding as the elevator that's right next to you opens. And it distracts you for a moment.
Yeah.
You look over to the elevator, and then when you look back, the puddle is just a normal puddle. No longer glowing.
Would I have been able to take a picture with the camera, like showing its glow?
Yeah.
Okay, cool. We have to develop it later. It's fine.
Yeah,
But,
we've got to go. We've got to go to 24-hour plays, get developed. So we won't really know what's going on with that until tomorrow. But
but we'll know. We'll have evidence, and that's the important part.
when the elevator opens, you notice that the entire interior of this elevator is mirrored. I mean, not the floor and the ceiling, but but all of the walls of it are.
Ugh. Okay.
So you get a good look at yourself with your several pockets bulging full of nuts.
And he'll definitely like be looking at himself, like doors close. When the doors open again, he's like just like, yeah, you're looking very good today. He's like slicking what little bit of hair that he has back. Like he's trying to just adopt to this fancy lifestyle now that he knows he's going to have so much money after this.
Exactly. So the doors to the elevator close, and as they close, we cut to the Winnebago. It took you folks a little longer to get to the tower that you were expecting, partially because Belvedere he's really passive aggressive with his directions. So he'd be like, oh yes, turn right up here, and then you'd like turn right, and he'd be like, I meant the second right, dear. Well, we're just going to have to loop around, I suppose. So it took you folks a little longer because he was kind of insufferable, but you got there. And he says, there is some interior parking, but sure I could arrange to have this sort of vehicle would probably fit better on the street. I can arrange to have a space vacated for you that you can use for the remainder of your stay.
I mean, that works for us.
Yeah, great.
And probably certainly clearance to get in.
Yeah.
It's a little too tall.
Yeah. Max headroom. So you can pull up onto the street and park there. And there's like a dude in a fancy jacket who comes up. He's like, hey, you can't park here. And then Mr. Belvedere is just like, bear with me, please. They will be allowed to park here for the remainder of the workday. And the guy's like, oh, sorry, sir. Yes. Do you need anything, sir? Can I get you or your guests anything? And he's like, oh, well, I'm fine. Do you two require anything?
No.
Oh. Well, I guess not. Let's just head in then, shall we?
All right. Lead the way.
You take your equipment and head into the lobby. I already described the tower. It looks like that. But you head into the lobby, and it is, oh gosh, this building is massive. It's like the interior of it is like a shopping mall. It's these huge wide open spaces, tile, and there's lots of mirrors. A lot of the walls are mirrored. So it looks even bigger than it actually is. And there's just like shops and restaurants, escalators, elevators. There are also stairwells, but those are hidden because they don't look interesting. And Yeah, like an indoor tree that's planted in the center of the main lobby, because that's just how
Mm-hmm.
you're fancy like that.
Mm-hmm.
And he leads you in, and he says, well, and there's like people all over the place walking around. And he says, well, I suppose we can wait here for your associate, who should be here soon. I'm sure my driver got him around the same time that we arrived. And he like takes out a pocket watch and starts looking at it. And he says, well, that's unfortunate. I have a meeting. Oh, goodness. The who's a good person to have show you around? Oh, and he points over and he's like, Pat, Patricia, would you come? Would you be a dear? Come here, please. And you see that there's this woman, um, pantsuit, shoulder pads, short curly hair, talking to like three different people as she's like striding, like power walking through this lobby, like cutting through these crowds of other people. Clearly very busy. And she sees Belvedere and she's just like, she gives this like, oh God, oh look, and she's just like, oh yes, Lynn, I'm sure I can. I'm sure I can spare a minute. I'm sure I can speak. Yeah, okay, all right, sure, yeah. And she comes over, and she's like, hi, hello. Oh, are you with the heating company? Are you utilities? Sees the two.
No, no, ma'am.
Not
We're the
quite.
Ghostbusters.
Yeah.
Oh, well, sorry. I'm just trying to deal with like five different things at once. And Mr. Belvedere is like, no, dear, no. This is Ghostbusters. This is Patricia Gardner. She is the building manager here at Stenson Tower. She handles all the day to day, and I'm sure she'll be happy to assist you. Well, I get off to my meeting, but I'm sure that I will see you again quite soon. And of course, you have my number and on my card. So have a lovely day, dear. Goodbye. And he just sort of like strides off, and Patricia's like, bye, goodbye, bye, Lynn. Yeah. She's like, oh, that man. Oh, you also have noticed since you've been inside, there was that thing where you walk into a building and it went for on a cold day and there's that gust of cold air, right? But now that the automatic doors have shut behind you, it's still like pretty cold in here, like much colder than you think it should be.
Hmm.
I'd ask if someone left the window open, but they're all glass.
She's like, well, yeah, no, luckily that is not what has happened. There's like there's a guy standing next to her and he like whispers something to her ear and she's just like, oh yeah, Lou, no, okay, I'll handle that problem with the pools in a minute. Uh yeah, we've just been having lots of issues with the heat in here. I mean, uh we just opened a few weeks ago and there's all sorts of weird little things, brand new building, you know the drill.
Mhm.
But yeah, uh so we're waiting for one of your other people that I'm going to show you. This is about Tanaka, right? I think
Yeah.
Correct.
that was the thing. Yeah. Okay. Yeah, his apartment's upstairs. I can have somebody let you in, and oof, yeah, and any other information that you need to know, just give me a just ask.
All right. You mind if we look around down here while we wait?
Oh, sure, go for it. I'll still be around the lobby. I'm doing some rounds, but yeah.
All right. I will pop out the PK meter and just start walking around.
Sure. You pop up the PK meter, start walking around.
Yeah.
At this time, the elevator door opens, and Maurice, you see this gigantic lobby, indoor tree, and the all these really nice restaurants, lots more mirrors all over the place, and crowds of people. But it's still pretty easy to spot your two coworkers as they are walking through the room, and Ted is pulling out a PKE meter.
Okay. Yeah, I think Maurice will he'll like clearly he has styled himself in the mirrors of this elevator, so when you see him again, like that little bit of hair he's pushed back, and like it's one of those like he's waiting for somebody to say something, but there's not a big enough difference in what his hair looked like before and what it is now for literally anyone to actually notice that that something's been done. But he is like he'll wave and say something spooky happened down in the garage, but you know, maybe that's a precursor to what we got going on here. It was a pool, some water. It was glowing. So, you know, it's either they got a radium problem around here, or we're dealing with a bona fide ghost. Now, I did take a picture of it, so we have evidence for today. If we need to, you know, go and get that picture processed to really know what we're dealing with here, and, you know, take some more readings. And then come back tomorrow when we have, you know, he's just like trying to stretch, basically like trying to like, yeah, let's stretch this $20,000 a day. Insane. We can turn this into a 4-day job easy. Like,
yeah, no, and I'll just be like, yeah, I don't know, that Belvedere guy just left. He had somewhere more important to go. So,
you know,
yeah, I'm just gonna look around here, but they're gonna take us up to that guy's apartment once we're ready. But I figure while we're here,
you know, do some general readings, and he'll pull out the camera and just start like lazily looking around.
I will seriously take readings and walk around like
I'm doing my job. Ted, you pull out your PKE meter, your trusty PKE meter. You turn it on. As I have described in previous sessions, the way I like to do the PKE meter is that it's read out as a sine wave, and the more that wave modulates, or like the way how much the frequency changes, is the you know, the frequency of the paranormal activity in the area. You turn it on, and it's like the sine wave comes up and then it flattens.
Weird. Have I ever seen it do something like this before, or is this something new?
No, maybe the batteries are dead.
Oh, that's weird. And then I wait, hang on, and then I put it over towards Natalie and just check.
Yeah, and you start to get a reading, but it's very faint.
Okay. Okay. Different than it was last time I tried this out.
It's the same kind of reading as the last time you scanned her, but it's much like the signal is muted. Like there's the signal's frequency is less strong.
All right. I will continue to just I feel like one hand like behind my back, just walking around, and just like something's interfering with all these readings. I think it's this building. And I just keep like walking around and like checking, like, going into a shop, not talking to the people there, looking around, walk out of the shop, like maybe go behind a counter, like just focusing on the meter and just be like, oh, hello. I'll just walk right out, you know?
What is Natalie doing?
I think Natalie's looking more at like the kinds of people that are down here, just kind of like on these lower floors. Like, you know, what's the vibe? Is anyone like weirded out? Has anyone heard that something has happened to someone in this building? Does anyone look like, you know, there's something weird going on?
Nobody looks like a ghost, I can tell you that. There's
It's a good start.
That'd be too obvious, I think.
It's a little too much, but yeah.
I'm a very subtle writer. I'm a very good writer, you know. I wouldn't just make someone look like a ghost. But no, a lot of these people are clearly like well off. Either richer people who are living in this building, or people who want to appear as rich and are shopping in this building. and there's lots of, oh my gosh, the hair. There's such big hair on everybody. There's just, as you're walking around checking out some of the people, the smell of the hair, the amount of
Hmm.
hairspray in this room is almost overpowering. The But a lot of these people, they don't seem disturbed in any particular way. They're just going about their business, being shoppers, being fine diners. If you want to talk to anybody, you certainly can.
Yeah, I don't think she wants to like disturb anyone's days, especially like some of the more well-off folks, because they'll absolutely give her an earful if they have places to go. It's a little bit intimidating. Um, so yeah, is this going to generally look around? I mean, Maurice has now expressed to us that there was like a puddle that was glowing, so just like any strange sign she can look for.
Uh, you're looking around. There's make me a what's a good roll for this? Um, I feel like wasn't moves was like also shorthanded this game for perception, as I recall. So I would like you to make me a moves roll. If you have something applicable for noticing details, you could use that, but otherwise just a straight moves roll.
Nah.
And we're gonna see what happens based on your total.
All right, sounds good. Please no ghost die first roll. Okay, no ghost die. It's 15.
And 15 with no ghost die, pretty good. Um, like I said, this place is really heavily mirrored. And there's a couple points where you will see crowds of people walking by like certain sections, and you'll like be looking and you'll like look at the people and then you'll look at their reflection, and it's not exactly the same. There's like there'll be like an extra person in the reflection, and they it's hard to like catch, right? Because it's you only will see it for like a second and then they'll be gone. But it's usually probably it usually just looks like it's probably another person that blends in with the crowd, but and it's never like the same, or at least you don't think it is. You don't roll that well, but you definitely see that like something's off. Everything seems fine, but there's something odd about these mirrors.
Yeah, I think, yeah, Natalie will express that to the rest of the group, if she reconvenes with them. It's like uh, either these windows are trick mirrors or there's something going on. She kind of points and waits.
Hmm. Interesting.
Ted, after
Yeah.
you've had a chance to scan sort of the perimeter of the room in a couple shops,
Hmm.
you have noticed the culmination of your fact checking and readings is that the closer you get to the exterior walls of the structure, the more completely the signal goes away. If you're
Okay.
in like the closer to the center of the building you are, you get almost a normal baseline reading.
Okay.
But yeah, it seems like any kind of paranormal signal that the PKE meter would detect is being muted by the structure itself.
Okay. All right. Yeah, I will come back over to everybody and let everybody know that, yeah, it's these windows. They're the problem. Apparently,
The
they're muting
oh,
some kinetic energy or something.
uh with that, the lady who's the building manager comes over and she's like, "Hey folks, I've got to get upstairs to do a thing, so I can show you that room now. Are you the third are you the third guy? And she points over at Maurice.
Maurice
taking a picture.
kind of like straightens out his like the folded collar. He's just like, yeah, I'm part of these guys. Like, and
He's
I'm very
just-
much like, we're a big deal.
She's just like, all right, excellent. Let's head upstairs. I think Tanaka's apartment was 67. Yeah, 67th floor. All right, let's head over to the elevators.
Not the 69th floor?
Nice.
Oh.
But no, unfortunately not.
This is a kids show.
Are you folks gonna go with her, or do you
Yeah,
want to?
yeah.
Okay. Okay. You all head towards the elevator. It opens, all mirrored elevator. You walk in. The elevator door closes. We cut to the front doors of the lobby. The doors swoosh open, and Mallory steps in. Smoking a cigarette still, because you know what?
Yeah.
You can. It's
It's the 80s. They haven't made it illegal yet.
they haven't made it illegal yet. Smoke is
Free cancer
Oof.
as a treat.
um as you're you notice there's a bit of a hubbub at the far end of the lobby. There is a large group of people that are walking through. Again, also cutting their way through the bigger crowds, but it's like a bunch of suits. So it's probably like 8 or 10 guys in suits. Some of them are carrying like spreadsheet printouts. And one of them has like a notebook with a pencil. And in the center of this group, towering above all of them, or at least the hat is towering above all of them, is a somewhat rotund man in a 10-gallon hat and a bolo tie. And he is, giving commands to the different people as he's walking through. And the whole crowd seems to be headed towards the doors to exit the structure. So they're walking right towards you.
All right, I will let them pass me by and see if I can kind of casually eavesdrop on what they could be talking about.
You can hear in a Texan accent, the guy in the huge hat is just like, no, I want you to go ahead, sell that. And oh gosh, that's are you telling me that IBM is doing that well? That's poof. Wouldn't have bet on it, but you know what? Far be it from me to count out a dark horse. Yeah, go ahead and bet on put a couple shares in that, and yeah, let's do it. And you can hear the people who are talking to me is like, yes, Mr. Stenson, yes, right away, Mr. Stenson. And like guys in suits like break off from the crowd to go to, like, I don't know, make stock market purchases.
Is there one guy who's just like, we should invest in this Enron gig? It's a sure deal.
It's going great. Oh,
The numbers just keep going up, sir.
Yikes. And then one of them is like, Mr. Stenson, sir, I've got there's a message from you from Mr. Gecko. Needs to talk to you about some things. And Stenson's like, that guy's small potatoes. You know what? We'll do him later. And as they're making their way out the building. So yeah, this is
Curious.
considering you know the name of this building is Stenson Tower, this is you can gather the owner of the building.
Okay, does he look like he's leaving or just walking people out?
It looks like he's leaving.
Okay. I will follow out and I'll be like, excuse me. It's I, Mallory, official Ghostbuster here to bust your ghosts. I was wondering if I could have a word with you, Mr. Stenson.
You have to speak up a little bit just to get like past all the yes men and the little stooges all around him. But he sees you and he's like, Oh, well, hello, miss. A Ghostbuster, you say? And
Yeah.
he stops dead in his tracks and he's like, George Stenson, pleasure to make your acquaintance. Reaches out a hand.
Likewise.
He's wearing a bunch of like Super Bowl rings, probably. That's what I imagine this character would be wearing.
Excellent. I give him a very like aggressive handshake.
Um,
It's very very strong grip. Like, this must be your building.
he's like, oh yeah, this beauty is all mine. But I must say, ma'am, I got places to be. It's wonderful to meet you, but I really gotta get going. If you want to keep him talking to you, I would like a cool roll to try to be like, hey, listen, I'm worth talking to, you know?
Sure, I'll do a cool roll. I'm cool.
Yeah,
Please.
a 10. Yeah, sure. He says,
This is very
well,
important. I won't take much of your time at all.
well, I did hear that we were. He's changed to a Georgian accent, but that's fine. He's like, well, I did hear that we were employing some of you spectral exterminators, and
It's true.
well, the board seems to think you're quite important. So I suppose I could spare a few minutes.
Please, please, I really appreciate it. I am also just shuffling through accents.
He's just like, and one of the other guys with him is like, but sir, you're meeting your 6 o'clock dinner. And he's like, we'll just have to keep them waiting. And then he turns to you and he's like, that's the trick. You always keep them waiting. And then he goes over to like some like really nice chairs that are set up off to the side in the lobby. He's like, take a seat.
Excellent.
Uh,
Thank you.
and he reaches into his coat pocket, pulls out cigar
A gun?
case. No,
Oh,
not a
okay.
gun. He pulls out a gun. Well, he is kind of has Texan vibes. Maybe he'd be like, yeah.
He's from Texas.
Wait, no. He does have a gun for his cigar, but like he fires it
lighter.
and just a little flame. Yeah, it's a lighter. Like
I love those lighters. I thought about getting one.
But no, he takes out a cigar box, one of those like nice like little golden flip cases
Mhm.
that's got cigars in it, and he's like, it's like, I see you partake in a smoke every once in a while. Would you care for a Cuban cigar?
Oh, if it would be no trouble. I wouldn't want to impose.
He's like, oh, not at all. And
Thank
he
you.
hands you one, and he lights up, and all the other like little guys in suits that are buzzing around him. He's like, not all of them go away, but he's like, gentlemen, go make some arrangements for me. Please inform my dinner guest that they will need to wait a few moments. And some of the guys like run off, like, yes, Mr. Stenson. Uh, and he sort of like he takes a drag, or he lights up the cigars, takes a drag, and he's like, "Ooh, she's a beauty, ain't she? Stenson Tower. This is my biggest accomplishment yet. Over 100
Tell me a
floors, you
little
know."
bit about your building.
Oh, well, I would never deny anyone a sales pitch, miss. This is first level, like gestures, 5-star dining. Mid-levels,
Mhm.
high-end shopping, jewelry, art galleries. Not the type of stuff you see in a Sears catalog, let me tell you. Top floors, luxury apartments. We're talking real penthouse level stuff. At best in Manhattan, for sure. And the best part, and this is really the thing that would always turn me off about New York City, this whole place has so much history, which is great, I suppose, but it's also just, it's not very high end, not very high tech, not the kind of city of the future, not like Chicago. Now, this whole building is thoroughly modern, clean, white, angular, like a
I see. Yes.
blank canvas. I hired the best architects right out of Miami. Oh, and the glass panels just give the whole place this kind of a roominess that makes it even bigger. Makes it even bigger than it is. It's like the whole place is big on the inside. But this is the palace of the 20th century.
Oh, I can
Everything
see
the heart
that.
desires under one roof.
Oh, so you hired people to renovate this? How old is this building?
Oh, we built it. I mean, there was some brownstones here earlier, but we knocked those down. And we built this up from scratch as fast as possible because I didn't want the good people in New York City to wait on an opportunity like this. Now, oh, and I forgot the best part. This whole building is automated. I mean, we've got temperature control, we got security systems. I mean, hell, we even got vending machines. Now,
Impressive.
one of the best parts is this right here, and he sort of directs your attention to this panel that's built into the wall next to you, and he taps it and it comes to life and it says Stenson Tower, and then he taps it again and it's like a directory and you can like hit different buttons and it tells you like the floors that stuff is on and stuff.
Ooh,
And he's like,
very fancy.
top of the line touch computer systems. You won't see these
I've never seen
anywhere
one of
outside
those.
of Los Angeles,
It's true. That's incredible. So, about these brownstones.
He's just like, well, you know how it is. The city wanted it to be a historic district, but well, I wouldn't let something little like that stand in my way. I mean, I'm friends with the mayor, for Christ's sake.
Did something historic happen here?
Well, I mean, maybe, but something historic's happening here right now
It's
with
true.
this tower. That's historic. He sort of like straightens out his sleeves when he says that. He's very proud of this
Yes.
building that he paid an absorbent amount of money for. And he you can see he has these like golden cufflinks that are really fancy. He then is just like, well, so I'm sorry, you were here to find that that Vince fella. He was worked for one of those that corporation that makes the TVs and the stereo systems. Yeah, I guess he went missing and it was a big deal, but can't say I met him. Might have seen him in passing a couple times, but heard he was a nice boy, so I hope we can find him soon.
A resident here?
Oh yeah, well, working at one of those big corporations in the city, he made enough money to afford an apartment here, and we were happy to have him. I mean, he was
Certainly.
apparently a star engineer over at Nakatomi, New York headquarters.
This is when the camera zooms out and we realize Mallory actually has no idea what the job is.
Yeah, I was gonna say.
Like I have
no idea.
I'm like actually.
This is like because that wasn't in the note. You just know that you're getting paid an obscene amount of money to work for this guy,
It
and you
has
know
to
where
do
you're
with
supposed to
ghosts.
go. Yeah.
Yeah,
But
I'm just making it up.
yeah, but it seems like you've been hired to find a missing person, which is weird because that's not something you usually do.
Yeah.
But he's talking to you like you already agreed to the job, so
Right. Yeah. So I'm just like, yeah, I know what you're talking about. Like, okay. Do you know anyone who could tell me more about where this person was last seen? Because
well,
you're so busy. I wouldn't want to hold you up.
gosh, you're right. I do have places to be, but I mean, Pat could certainly help. She's the building manager around here. But you can always use the computer system and look up the tenant apartment number if you
I'll
want
do that.
to go for it. It should be quickest and easiest way to find anything in the building. And then
Good to know.
he's about to go on because he can go on. It seems like he's about to tell you something else about the building that he's proud of, like some other
Mhm.
feature it has. But before he can, one of the guys comes over to him, whispers in your ear, Mr. Stenson, sir, it's your son. He's oh well, there's been an altercation. It's you're gonna need to you might need to speak to the police.
My, that sounds serious.
He's like, nah, Chad's a good boy, but just a little reckless. I'll handle it.
Kids.
Kids, can't live with them. That's not the right term for this situation.
Boys will be boys.
There you
What?
go. That's it. That's
There
what he
it
would
is.
say. He's like, boys
God.
will be boys. He stands up. He's like, you enjoy that cigar?
I will. Thank you.
He's
You
like,
have good night. You have good night, day. What time is it? I don't know.
it's like 5:30 or something. So night would be appropriate.
Okay. Yeah, you have
Uh,
good evening.
He's like, you too, miss, and he tips his big hat and heads out the door.
Excellent. So I'm like, who is missing? And I go off to try to find the
Right.
gang.
You can look in the computer system to see
Oh yeah,
what room this Vince Tanaka is in.
sure.
You check the directory. And I'm gonna call out chat real quick. Someone in chat was like, I really thought his son's name was gonna be Elroy. Well, it would be a safe bet, except this is 280s a movie, so if he's got a high school age son, it's gotta be Chad. That's just the way it works.
That's true. Yeah.
But
Can't imagine a dreamier name. Chad.
A preppier name.
Or Brad.
Brad,
Or
also good.
Brad.
Yeah.
In an early version of this campaign, I had written a preppy high school character whose name was Brad Chaddington.
Nice.
But that seemed like too much, so I ended up ended up cutting that. Anyway, if you check out the directory, you can see Tanaka Vince, 67th floor apartment, like whatever, like 17B or something.
Okay. Cool. I will head there.
Cool. You head in that direction. Or you can head over to an elevator, start heading upstairs. Oh yeah,
Oh my gosh, yeah, I'm taking an elevator. I'm not walking up 67 floor.
Yeah. I mean, there are escalators, but you don't know if they go all the way up there, and that would still take too long.
Yeah.
One of the things you notice about this building, I mean, you kind of noticed it when you sat down, but like, man, it is cold in here.
I thought
Weird.
he said there was temperature control.
Yeah, he bragged about it.
Yeah. Strange.
So you jump in the elevator and
It's dangerous.
yeah, don't jump into the elevator. It's dangerous. There's a few other people in there. The elevator starts heading up. Cut to the 67th floor. Another elevator dings open. This elevator contains the rest of the group and Patricia Gardner, building manager.
Patricia.
And she's just like, all right, so let's see. His apartment is if you go down that hallway, take a right. His is the first apartment after the turn. But I'd love to or actually let me unlock it for you. And
Oh, thank you.
oh no, this is not Mallory. This is the rest of the group. Mallory's
Oh,
not
this
quite
is the
there
rest.
yet.
Okay, yeah, I'm not there yet.
Um, Yeah, I was gonna have her leave you, but then I realized she has to unlock the door because it's definitely locked. So she walks you down the hall, and yeah, in this, you notice that with the way the apartments are, it's like the wall that the apartment doors are on is not mirrored. But the wall across from that doesn't have any apartments on it, and it is entirely mirrored. So you can see the reflection of like all the apartment doors leading down the hallway. And you come to the apartment. She unlocks it, opens it up, and she's just like, "Yeah, so this is the place. I don't know too much, only that he's been missing for, gosh, a couple days, maybe. Nobody knows where he's at. Uh, I I guess the Stenson and some of the other bigwigs that funded this place are really into having him found. I don't know too much about it. I got too much stuff on my plate, honestly. I gotta check the server room. It's I don't know why the hell it continues to be so cold in here. And she just is like, she's like, "Do you need anything else? Because I really gotta go."
I think we can take it from here. And
All
he'll
right, thank
pull
you.
out his camera.
Mm. And she's like, "Great, okay, just you can lock it from the inside. Just lock it when you're finished. All right, when you're heading out, or grab me and let me know when you're leaving. Actually, that wouldn't make sense. The front desk, just leave a message with them when you're on your way out. Let them know you've wrapped up." Okay, all right. And she sort of heads off in another direction, just being like, "Oh, the server stuff." And she starts to take a turn. She's like, "No, it's not that way." And she turns and she takes a different turn and walks down a different hallway. And she's gone. Doors open to Vince's apartment.
I go in.
All right.
Looking through the
Bikini, you're
camera.
out. Yep.
Let's see here. Vince's apartment. Um this apartment is very modern and very sparse. We've got checkerboard floor, glass block accent wall separating the kitchen from the living room. Classic 80s design. Lots of potted plants in strategic positions, white walls, tons of windows. Um, and you know, the basic furniture, TV, but it doesn't look very lived in.
Hmm.
There isn't a lot of other. There's some other things, but not a lot of other things. Maybe he was just very cleanly.
Do we know how long Vince lived here for?
No, you do not.
Okay.
Okay, so generally, if somebody disappears from a place that they have been living, we're gonna find like trails, right? So I think Maurice's first idea that he has is to go over. I'm guessing there's like a coffee table near a TV. Like, is there mail on the coffee table, or like the regular table? I want to look through this dude's mail. It's not a crime if it's in a cartoon.
It's not a crime if it's in a cartoon. Um, there's a bunch of there's some mail. It's mostly just junk that looks like it hasn't been thrown out yet. Publishers Clearinghouse.
Oh, nice.
Nice.
There's and there's a few coffee table books and some magazines that are there. Those seem to be the only things that are like askew in the whole apartment. Like if he interacted with anything, it was this stuff. Doesn't even look like the TV, like the remote for the TV is sitting on top of the TV. Like he didn't even watch it.
Oh,
I
Hmm.
don't trust this guy.
yeah, something's really wrong.
Yeah.
This is the 80s. That's like 90% of what you have to do.
Right?
Like,
Yeah.
you know?
Funny, opposite to what I thought Maurice was gonna do. I'm gonna check out the kitchen. I'm gonna like look in the fridge, like what's
Mm.
going on.
I should have
I
checked
knew
out
you'd
the
look at the
kitchen. You're right.
There's a There's not much in that fridge. There's a little bit. There's like 2 boxes of half-eaten takeout. There's a bunch of condiments.
Okay.
That's about it. That's about it.
Yeah, not very lived in at all. Like how many condiments? Is this like the full, like, they've had time to accrue a lot of condiments, or just like the basics?
No, there's like some ketchup and some mustard and like a bottle of hot sauce that's half used.
Those are my food staples too.
Okay, so
Yeah.
ketchup, is it like,
Breakfast, lunch, and dinner.
does he have the bottle of ketchup, or is it like what I do with Taco Bell sauce packets, and they're just sort of like loose in the
Loose
refrigerator?
packets.
Yeah.
Oh, there's definitely some loose packets in there for sure. Oh no. Oh no. The loose ketchup packets. The true mark of a bachelor. Uh, the there's a carton of milk. So hey, there's that.
Has it expired?
Oh
If
yeah.
So when?
If you pull it out and open it up and take a sniff, you're like, oh, that's old.
Are the expiration dates on it? Like, is it...
Oh, there probably is. I mean, it expired like a week ago,
Okay.
but
So it was already expired before he went missing.
Yes.
That's rough.
We
buddy.
have a solid timeline now. Milk expires. He goes missing. The pieces are coming together.
I'll sweep his room with the PKE meter to see if there's any. I'm curious about the windows. I'm curious about this glass wall too. What kind of? And I want to just see, do we got anything to go off of here supernaturally?
Sure. There's one last thing I want to mention about the refrigerator, though, aside
Sure.
from the loose sauces. As you're like, wow, there is nothing in here. You go to close the refrigerator and you hear a noise coming from inside the refrigerator, like a bubbling.
Don't like that.
Slowly open it back up.
Yeah. The milk carton is like shaking around a little bit, and it's you can hear bubbling from inside it.
Hey Ted, you want to bring the PKE meter over here?
Yeah.
Yes,
All right.
Yeah, so as you say that, the little flaps on it like pop open and all of these bubbles start coming up out of it. And then like the old milk like starts the like sides start to squeeze in and all the old goopy milk starts coming out. And then and you're like, oh, and you turn and you're like, Dad, you should get over here. And then you turn back and it looks totally normal. Ted, you get to the refrigerator.
Bring out the PKE meter and I'll sweep the fridge.
Sweep the fridge. Wow, you're next to an exterior wall because this apartment has a bunch of windows. You can't get any kind of reading in here whatsoever.
I got nothing.
Hmm.
These windows, they're made of some sort of, I don't know what. It's weird though. What's going on? What's up with the fridge? Other than expired milk and some sauce packets.
I could have sworn that I saw it was moving, and maybe something is growing in it, so maybe we shouldn't touch it. But yeah, I thought it was worth a shot.
Yeah. Okay. And I like shut the fridge. And I walk back to where I was because I want to check out the interior glass wall to see if that glass is made of the same kind of material as
Oh yeah.
the windows. But like as I walk away, I'm like looking back over my shoulder, and I'm like, looking at Natalie, thinking for a second, and I just keep going back over.
Wow.
I haven't forgotten that she's infected with ghost energy. So I don't know if she's animating spoiled milk or not. I'm freaking out about this a little bit.
Same.
And I'm like, okay.
Just internally.
Yeah.
Wait, do I know that she's infected?
No.
This happened last time.
Sweet.
Yeah.
Awesome.
That was actually why I was like, there's a dot matrix printout, because if you had like looked at that, you would have seen that it's like, a person is infected with like ghost energy. But
I was like, oh cool, somebody left this here. Anyways.
Yeah. So yeah. the accent wall, the glass block accent wall, like the kind of thing that we growing up would have seen in pools.
Yeah, yeah,
Like,
yeah,
did
yeah.
anybody
Right,
experience
right.
that? It
Yep.
was yeah, in like middle school there was like one of these for some reason. But yeah, this was like a big design thing in the 80s. So that's there, but it actually doesn't seem like it's the same material as the other parts of the building. So it doesn't absorb signal. It actually
Mm.
just seems perfectly ordinary.
I'd be like, I gotta find a way to break one of these windows.
I gotta break one of these windows.
I gotta take some of this window back to the Coin King.
hmm There's that, and there's a lot of mirrors around.
Oh, that's true.
So maybe you can find a mirror that you can remove.
Instead of breaking a window
I don't
on
know
a
if Mallory
67th
shows up.
floor.
She'll figure. We can find a way. She'll
Yeah.
break a window. I'm sure. Steal a mirror. I don't know. Shoot
The,
a shoot
Yeah,
a
just
hole.
borrow it.
Yeah, I was like, at some point she'll just like shoot a hole through one of the windows randomly, and it'll just take a piece of the
Just
left of when if she ever shows up.
just
We'll see.
keep Mallory in proximity, just hoping for some like
Collateral
property
damage.
destruction.
Yeah.
Exactly. An errant bullet fires through and breaks that window. Hang on, nobody go near the edge, but I need that glass. Hang on, like scoop it up.
I broke hardly anything in that museum.
hardly anything.
Hardly.
Nothing
The,
of
um,
cultural significance. It's fine.
One thing I want to mention for Maurice on the coffee table,
Mhm.
there's a couple coffee table books. I have them listed somewhere. Where are they? Oh, yes. So there's some books on ancient architecture, specifically Egyptian architecture. There's also a lot of engineering and electronics books, the kind of things that you'd expect an engineer to read or find
Okay.
interesting and not extremely boring. And there's a few magazines, and one of them is the latest issue of Popular Science magazine, and it has an article dog-eared in it.
Hey. Okay, turn to the dog-eared page.
The article is called Star Wars: The Strategic Defense Initiative and the Future of Orbital Satellites. And it's just this, scientific article about like, oh, satellites. We can use them for communication, for sending television signals, for strategic defense.
This is what Reagan was talking about. He remembers this.
Yeah, exactly. It's satellites for the future is what this article is positing.
Okay.
Now I'm gonna cut real quick to the hallway. Another elevator door opens. Mallory steps out.
Mallory sneezes as though this is an anime and someone was talking about her.
Oh, I thought just because it's cold and it's bothering your sinuses.
Not true. It could be
Um,
both.
you see because you took a separate elevator as everybody else did. You
Mhm.
can see that your elevator opens up and you look to your left down the hallway and you can see the marks on the doors leading down. And judging by the room numbers, the apartment must be at the end of this hallway. And all of the apartments are on one side and the elevator and then just a mirrored walls on the other side. But as you're coming out and you look down the hallway real quick, you see reflected in the mirrors at the end of the hallway is Maurice, Natalie, and Ted stepping inside of into the apartment at the end of the hallway. And it's one of those things that makes you do like a double take because you like look real quick and you see them stepping in, but you're pretty sure you saw it in like the mirror reflection. And then when you look again, they're no longer the mirror reflection and the door to that room is closed and you didn't hear anything.
Oh, I don't know what was in that cigar. She takes another.
Tries again. Maybe I can figure it out.
Maybe. Oh my god. That's super weird. Did I have time to capture any of that on my camcorder?
No, it was too quick.
Okay. Very suspicious.
Do you want to head toward that apartment, or go to one of the other apartments, or go somewhere else?
Mm, I'll take a look at that mirror. I did bring, let's see, this equipment that I grabbed. Because I have the gun, I have 2 slots, right?
Yeah, you have, so you can hold 3 items, and I decide to make the gun 1 item, so you can have 2 other items besides the gun.
Okay, cool. This time I brought a proton pack because turned out gun not effective against ghost.
No, guns are not effective against ghosts typically.
It was a problem. And then I have my camcorder, so I'll just have the camcorder at the ready. So I'm ready for anything.
Okay.
And I'll take a look at that mirror and then go to the apartment that I think I'm supposed to go to.
Hmm. Is the camcorder recording?
I would have my finger on the record button, like ready to
Okay.
start
If you
it.
see something, you're gonna
Yeah,
get
I
it
don't want to
on tape.
waste. I don't want to waste film.
Yeah, I mean you can only fit 4 hours on a VHS tape.
I know. Who knows how many hours we'll be here?
Right? You're checking out that mirror. You're looking at it. The roll a moves roll if you have anything specific for spotting details and any talent for that. You can apply the extra 3. Otherwise, it is straight.
Okay, I think that's gonna be a straight moves. 7.
7. You're looking at that mirror. You've got your camera. It's focused. Looking through the lens. Nothing happens.
Okay, I will carry on to an apartment then.
Okay. You go to the apartment and open the door. It's not locked.
Ooh,
Um,
that's good since I think my friends just came in here. Maybe? Question mark?
yeah. No one said they locked the door from the inside after they went in, so I'm just gonna assume that it's unlocked. The door opens to the apartment, and everybody sees Mallory standing in the doorway with a camcorder
Hey guys.
and a cigar.
Yep. Upgrade. Did you guys walk through a mirror?
Can't say we have.
Go walk through a door.
That's all. I won't explain.
I will go into no more detail.
Glad to have you here. How'd the stove, oven, both situation go?
Oh, it was good. I just, it was a little bit of a bummer that I didn't have time to go to the graveyard, but maybe after this job.
Okay. I feel like I have gotten more questions than answers, but this is typical.
Yep. Uh-huh.
I think I have completely answered your question.
Okay.
Well, it's good to have you here. You know, we work better when the gang's all together.
Maurice is holding a magazine. His pockets are suspiciously overflowing with nuts.
Only 3 of them. Only 3 of his pockets are overflowing with nuts. The other one currently has a magazine that's been like rolled up and tucked into the back. But he definitely took from this guy's table. It's like, oh, the new TV guide. Hell yeah.
We're just not doing phrasing anymore.
Yeah, I don't know. This guy got. Apparently, we do missing person cases now.
Yeah, what's up with that? I talked to the owner of the building because I have no idea what the job is.
This guy's apartment. Apparently, he went missing 2 weeks ago or so. And they said they're positive it's supernatural related. And we said, we don't really do that. And they said, we will pay you a lot of money. And we said, yeah, we'll look into it. And that's why we're here.
Was
Oh,
I fully approve.
sorry. I just wanted to point out, I believe that Belvedere said he's only been missing for a couple days.
A couple days?
Yep.
Okay, sorry. Only missed a couple of days, rather. But yeah, I don't know. If it takes a while, it's $20,000 a day as long as we're working on this. So,
Yeah.
You know,
Cool.
you
I'll
got to
be
be
as slow
really
as I can
thorough.
be.
right. Exactly.
No stone left unturned and all of that. And he says, just sort of like casually flipping through the magazine while standing in this dude's apartment.
I appreciate your dedication to the job.
You know, these scientist types, they're always leaving clues in unexpected places, you know. Like, it could be that, like, maybe the shower curtains, the rings that are holding them on, if one's turned to the one way and the other's turned the other, you know, maybe it's like a Morse code situation. You really just gotta give the whole place a proper look through.
You saw something interesting in the shower curtains?
No, I haven't checked yet, but you know, I'll get right on that. And he sort of like cinches his belt up a little bit and then like moseys on over to the bathroom with a magazine under his arm.
Amazing.
Is there any like work stuff anywhere? Like I know he had magazines and bills, and it seems pretty bare bones all over the place in general. But like out in the open or in like the actual bedroom, like
Yeah, you haven't
briefcase
checked
or anything?
you haven't checked in the bedroom yet, but it does seem like suspiciously there is no this is not someone who took home their work, right?
Interesting. All right, I'll go check the bedroom.
Sure.
Work-life balance.
Work-life balance. Yeah, there you go. The bedroom is pretty sparse. There's a pretty simple alarm radio, and the bed's like a little messy, but not that messy. Otherwise, there's like a closet that has, you know, some nice pants and shirts in it, the kind of thing that you'd have to wear to an office.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, is there any specific place in the bedroom you want to check?
Well, I'm a Ghostbuster, so I already just checked the closet. Now I gotta check under the bed.
Oh, sure, okay. Yeah, closet's fine. Check under the bed. You looking around under
Yeah,
the
sweeping under the
PK
bed.
meter still not giving you anything, but
Yeah.
you do see that there is a small, like a shoebox under the bed. I mean, it might just have shoes in it because it's a shoebox that's
The
under the bed.
shoebox, yeah.
But
all right, I'll pull out the shoebox.
yeah, it's suspicious in that there's nothing else under the bed.
This guy's weirding me out.
Yeah.
Weirdly frugal.
Yeah,
No, I don't like it.
You open up the shoebox. There is a single cassette tape inside it.
Like an audio cassette.
Yep.
Huh. And no label?
Nope.
I will take the cassette tape. I'll be like, now we gotta go down to the car to play this. Because
Well,
no, we
But
don't.
more
Ted.
importantly, is there a
Oh,
cassette
wait.
player here?
No, there is in
No
the
way.
boombox from the beach trip kit that I brought
What?
with me.
Okay, yes, absolutely, that's fantastic. But what I'm asking is like he has a tape, but not a player in the apartment.
So actually,
Oh, okay.
there is not a player in the apartment. That's true. Right? Weird.
That's so weird. I don't
But you
like
can-
That's
that.
weird.
But you do have the boombox, so you can play.
I'll come out into the main room and be like, hey, does anybody got a Walkman or something? There's a cassette tape. It's the only thing in his room.
I would say Maurice,
Something
like, because Maurice is in, like, he's in the restroom at this point.
Yeah.
There's just the bag of stuff that he brought, and there is the, like, Ghostbusters official beach trip boom box that he has brought with him.
And I just, like, this just dejected, like, I can't believe he did it again.
Same.
And I'm just like, alpine gear worked. The beach. I'm just like, I don't, like, completely beside myself about how he somehow manages to figure it out every time. And I'm just like, I don't say this is all an internal monologue. And I'm like,
Can I there's something I want to do just as a
Yeah,
creepy
please.
moment, real quick.
yeah.
So you're like, you walk out, you're like, does anybody have a boombox? You see Natalie standing in the room, you see Mallory standing in the room. Maurice is not in there because he's in the bathroom. So you
Mhm.
might be like, where's Maurice?
Yeah.
And someone may say, oh, that we saw him go into the bathroom.
Mm-hmm.
Cut to Maurice in the bathroom. You're standing there, you're checking the rings on the shower curtain to make sure
You know,
none of them are turned
yeah, he'll, like,
strangely.
take the lid off the toilet and be like, that's good plumbing, and he'll set it back
Yep.
down. Like,
You look in the sink and there's, the toothbrush and the toothpaste. But like most of the toothpaste is still in the tube. And you look in the mirror, and the way the room is structured, the door to the room is behind you if you're looking in the mirror, right? So you see behind you, the door to the room opens, and Ted pokes his head in, and Ted says, "Hey, do you have any way I can play a cassette?"
in the mirror.
Well, you see that because you're looking in
yeah.
the mirror, and you see the door open, and you see Ted's head pop in, and he holds up a cassette. He's like, "Do you have any way I can play a cassette?"
I think that Maurice will turn his head to look at Ted to say, like, a little privacy here.
So you turn your head to look at Ted to say, "A little privacy here," and the door's not open.
We don't like that.
And I think, like, Maurice just a little pry.
And then Ted, you know that someone said Maurice was in the bathroom. Do you want to open the door and see if he has a cassette player?
Yeah, that's obviously the best way to do it. Open it up real quick. Hey, do you have a cassette player? Like,
And
real
Maurice
quick?
is already, like, standing, hand exposed, like he was, like, mid-scolding, looking in your direction.
Hey, do you have a cassette player?
It's in the beach time fun bag.
Oh, great, thanks. I shut the door.
He's just left
Obviously.
standing there, just pointing at the door, turns and looks at the mirror, and then looks at the door again.
Oof. My fave. Stenson Tower. I love Stenson Tower. Yeah, Ted, you can go over to the beach time fun bag and pull out the boombox. You have to, like, there's like an umbrella, you have to move that. There's a deflated beach ball, you gotta move that out of the way, and
Some
then you can pull.
sunscreen.
Yeah.
First thing I do is I hold the cassette in my left hand, and I look at this boombox, and I take the wand out of the proton pack, and I just poke the boombox a couple times. Make sure it doesn't come
Yeah.
to life and attack me again.
Luckily, that does not happen.
I'm watching it, and I'm like, put it back in. All right, then we'll play this cassette tape. Is it rewound, the tape?
It is. Do you try to play side A or side B?
I'll start with side A.
Sure. You put it in. You can hear sort of that cassette, like, room noise, like static ground noise hum.
Mhm.
And then you hear in a man's voice 3.141592653358979323827950284197.
But I'm like, wow, somebody likes pie.
Yeah.
And at that point, Maurice exits the bathroom, and he's like, guys, and he's, like, pointing over his shoulder, but, like,
And it
feel free to flip to side B and do all that. He had just, like, for the cinema, he was
Yeah.
making his way back.
is that all that's playing on side A?
Yep.
I'll be like, that's okay. Yeah, I'll flip it over. We'll play side B.
Play side B. Use your. It's like internet sounds, kind of.
Dial-up sound.
Internet sound.
I don't know what that is.
Yeah, the internet doesn't exist yet.
Al Gore hasn't fully invented the internet yet. And I'm like, huh. That's weird.
Hey, so something strange happened to me while I was in the bathroom, and not like the normal kind of strange.
Did it? So it didn't look good, is what you're telling me.
I'm just gonna say it's like you were in it, for example. I was looking at the mirror, washing my hands, being, you gotta do at least 20 seconds of solid hand washing to make sure that they're fully, taken care of. And, well, I saw you open the door, and you asked me about the boombox. And when I went to scold you, there wasn't anything there. The door was shut, and then you opened the door, and you asked me about the boombox again.
It sounds so like unhinged. It's really good.
Well, I'd say I didn't do that, but I did open a door and ask you for a boombox.
But
So
only
all
like
of
the
this-
one time?
But only the one time. I did say in the room before I came in there, does anybody have a way to play a cassette? That's weird. I don't like this place.
Maurice
It's
will
not
like
just
take off
me.
his glasses. No, I must have been seeing something then.
So-
And he's like,
This tracks with your weird fridge thing,
Yeah.
I guess. Maybe the windows are listening. Maybe it's a ghost building. I bet it's a ghost building. Is that a thing? I don't know if that's a thing. I bet it's a thing.
That's the thing.
well, there's like what is it? The haunted mansion down in the Disney World?
Yeah, this could be a haunted skyrise. The second one after the last one that happened 2 years ago or a year ago. You said it was the mirror, right?
Yeah, it was the mirror.
I go into the bathroom and I see if there's a signal on the mirror, like the vanity mirror or whatever it is.
Nah, I mean it's too like I said earlier,
Too
it's
close to the
because
exterior wall.
you're too close to the exterior walls of the building, so this whole apartment is basically a dead zone.
Yeah, look at that. I take the mirror off the wall.
Sure.
And then like look at the back of it. Just
Looks
regular
normal.
mirror.
Yeah.
Hmm.
But yeah, you can take it. Now you can take a part of the building that is a mirror if you'd like.
Yeah, I'm gonna give it a shot. Yeah, I'm gonna take this.
Okay.
How big is this mirror? It's just like a vanity mirror. Like it's pretty big.
No, it's a medicine cabinet mirror.
Oh,
Ah,
perfect.
okay.
Great.
Yeah.
Do I have to? Can I take it without taking the whole medicine cabinet with it?
Well, it's also the door of the medicine cabinet, but you can unscrew it and take it off. So
I
then
will
it's just
do
like a
that.
door.
Is there anything in the medicine cabinet?
Yeah, but not much. There's like some aspirin
Okay.
and
Some Tums, probably.
yeah,
Making
really
sure this guy's
basic. A few
got,
basic
it's
things.
like, oh, here's these psychosis meds. Weird.
No,
Like-
no,
mean-
nothing like that. This is a cartoon, Ted.
They would have had a funnier name for it if it was
Yeah.
a cartoon, Anyway, all right, yeah. I unscrew the medicine cabinet mirror, and I'm like, well, I've got all I need. But no, really, I think something's up with the glass in these buildings. The glass in the mirrors. I don't know what's going on. Oh, when I take the cassette tape out, where we should keep this,
Mhm.
should analyze those sounds.
Oh, what if it's like you gotta play it backwards? Like
In
those
the
kids with
boombox.
their Dungeons and Dragons listening to Pink Floyd. You gotta like really have it in reverse, and sometimes they summon the devil.
Sometimes.
You know, it happens to the best of us.
Did this sound like what we'd heard on the answering machine at the
I
start?
thought the same thing.
You know
Yes.
what? That's an interesting connection, but I'm gonna say no. It unfortunately did
Oh.
not sound like that.
Man,
Still haven't gotten that other cassette tape analyzed.
no, I
Nope.
know we haven't. All right, well, we should hang on to this. It's weird that he kept this in a shoebox under his bed, and there's literally nothing else under there.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And
That's
it's like
weird, doesn't it?
it's just pi, and like that's not. I don't know. You know what? Let me ask you this. Well, I probably wouldn't know pi out to that many digits off the top of my head. I think we should analyze. Well, you know what? Maybe there was a number that was off. I know at least the first 7 or so were right, but maybe something changed down the line.
Does
don't know,
anyone
could it be,
here
like,
just
a
happen
brains
to
roll?
know?
Like 20 digits out to pi.
Yeah.
Wait, hold on. Can I use?
Can you guess?
Can I guess?
Yes.
Can I guess if the numbers are off or not?
You can certainly roll for that. That is a 15, maybe a 20 to know. It depends how many numbers far out you go.
Okay. I am going to use my guess skill. I'm going to use a brownie point, so that way I got max dice going into this. Let's go. 21, no ghost die.
That's what I'm talking
Nice.
about.
This is
What?
I'm pretty
this is,
sure I read this on Jeopardy.
no, this is it is the perfect enumeration of pi out to the 39th decimal place. It's exactly right.
If there's one thing I know, it's pi.
That doesn't surprise me in the least. All right.
Here's a question.
Yeah.
You folks have tried the PKE meter, you've checked the fridge, done a cursory check of the living room, mostly just looked at the magazines. Is there any thing else you want to search in this apartment more thoroughly? Like, do you want to turn the place out? You know,
Yeah,
like
we're getting
throwing
paid for
open
it.
all the drawers or anything like
Yeah,
that? Or do you
cushions on
just
the
want to be
couch.
like, yeah,
I mean, he's not here. Oh, you said he has a TV too? Or
yeah, he does have a TV.
And no VCR. Or a VCR.
There probably is a VCR, but and it's all plugged in, but it's like doesn't look like it's used very much.
It still has the
Okay.
plastic film over the like.
Well, I'm just curious, like, does he have tapes, like things that he watches? Can we like try to get a more of a profile on this guy other than like super Spartan living in Popular Science magazine? Like, you know what I mean?
Oh yeah, there are a few tape cases.
Okay.
If you look, they're sitting up there, and there's like what had come out by this point. That's like a popular movie. Back to the Future 1, I think, was out by this point.
Yeah.
Star Wars.
Empire is in there. There's yeah, these are like Indiana Jones. Like, you know, pretty solid blockbuster movies. But when you're looking, you like pick up the tape cases and you open it up and there's no tape in it. In any of them.
What about in the VCR?
Nope, nothing in there either.
Weird. That's weird.
That's very weird.
Very weird. Yeah.
I'll turn the set on. Like,
It turns on.
okay. I'm like waiting for a poltergeist situation, like to happen. Static.
No,
All right.
just the news comes on. It's got cable television. It's set to
Hey,
GNN.
This guy's got cable too. Jeez.
Yeah, he barely even uses it. It's set to GNN. There's a lady on the screen talking about how Reagan's going to freaking some summit or something.
Okay. I'll turn the TV off. I was just curious if it was like, maybe there's like he's on the spooky channel with, you know, all the spooky things that happen.
Well, you had said that that pi only went to like, what was it? The first 30?
39.
39? Turn it to channel 39.
All right.
Sure.
Yeah. What the
Yeah,
hell?
why
There's
not?
no channel. Yeah.
That was an interesting idea, but I don't have anything for this. It's you turn to channel 39 and it's like, you know, Jane Fonda aerobics is on.
The key.
Yeah.
All right. Does anybody have Jane Fonda's number? We gotta get her on the horn. Turns out that's
Have
the
I
clue to solving this.
borrowed Jane Fonda's number?
But while Ted is messing with the TV, what are other people doing?
Um, I want to test out some stuff with the mirror and see if we can replicate what both I saw. I'll mention that I saw everybody in the mirror, um, and see if like maybe if we. Do you think it's like a quantum thing where like if you're alone looking at the mirror and observing, then something happens?
Mm.
Maybe. You gotta set up your video camera so that it's recording the mirror while
Oh
you're like
yeah,
trying all this stuff.
totally. Science.
All right, you do
Anybody
that.
want to try this out with me? There's
Sure.
enough rooms that we can kind of like have a couple tests going if we want.
Oh, Maurice has an idea for that.
Mm.
So, in science, how whenever you do an experiment, you always want to make sure to replicate the experiment as many times as you can, so that way you can prove your sample size, I think is what it's
Right.
called. What if we put the mirror facing another mirror and then we just wave our hands in front of it, because that would create an infinite number of mirrors in both directions for us to verify our sources on.
That's brilliant. I am super in for that.
I'm just guessing here.
Oh, yeah. It's a
I
very
wonder-
good idea.
There's nothing could go wrong with this.
Nothing could go wrong with something like this.
Actually going to summon the ghost this way.
Yeah, right.
Bloody Mary, Bloody Mary.
Don't, stop it right now.
Don't do that. That's
First
a
you're
bad
talking
idea.
about the Hat Man, now you're trying. What are you doing? These are all based in truth. You need to be careful what you say. This is a building of mirrors.
She could be
Oh
here
my
anywhere.
God. I can't believe I
Slugs
forgot
in a
about the
mirror.
Hat Man. Too terrifying.
That's having an existential crisis in front of the TV
Yeah, I
right
think Maurice jokingly says Bloody Mary twice, and then
now. Not another word.
he'll just eat some peanuts from his pocket.
Natalie, what is Natalie doing?
Well, she's waiting to see how this mirror facing another mirror idea pans
Sure.
out.
You're participating in the mirror experiment.
Exactly. And depending on how that goes, she would also like to propose potentially putting the mirror in front of the television to see if there are different results of watching the television versus what the mirror captures.
That's good.
Ooh.
Putting the mirror in front of another mirror, because you can find one of the walls has mirrors on it, so you can just plop that mirror down in front of it.
Mhm.
And I need somebody to roll to see if they can perceive something. Oh,
What is
21.
that? Brains?
Oh,
Or-
no, it wouldn't be brains. It would be,
Moves.
I think it would be moves, yeah.
I'll try. I'm trying to
Okay.
perceive. Nine.
You set up the mirror, you get your camera ready. You're like get your camera ready, you have it aimed at the thing, and you're like, okay, go. And then Maurice is like, and he waves his hand in between the mirrors, and it does exactly what it should do. Nothing weird happens.
We'll keep trying.
Sure, some more
Keep
time goes
waving.
by as you keep messing around with this. So Maurice, yeah, are you all just gathered around the mirror doing this, or is anyone
Well, no,
doing
Yeah.
this?
Well, I thought Heck Natalie was going to check the mirror in the TV.
Yeah.
Oh, that's true.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
And then Ted, you were checking You were checking
I wanna,
something
like-
else.
I want to turn out the couch cushions, pull behind the fridge. The fact that there is so little in this place just makes me even more suspicious.
Does
about
he
this
have
guy.
like a safe, like a fire safe or something
Yeah.
like that?
Something right, like under his mattress? Like, what's this guy got going on? What's his deal?
Ted, as you're ripping through stuff,
Yeah.
you do find something. Stuff. It looks like it wasn't hidden so much as it just got under the couch cushions and just sort of, was lost there. But there's a folded up letter. Unfold it. Look at it. You unfold it. It's like origami. You have to do it a lot of times. No, it's from it's written in English, but it's written in very poor English. And it's just like, Vince, my friend, they have me shooting new movie right now in Jersey. All pickup scenes. Actors aren't around in the summer. Scheduling, um, would love to see you come to set, and there's an address. Uh, bring some of your wild inventions.
Oh no.
And then it is signed Dario Fulci.
Okay.
I was gonna say, like, is that offensive? Like, as the Asian in the room, is that offensive? Then I was like, actually, literally every like Asian dad or someone I know writes their texts and emails like that.
Well, I was gonna say this isn't an Asian person who's writing this. This name is clearly Italian.
Yeah, and I'm like, apparently he has weird inventions.
Also, the address where he's being invited to go is in New Jersey.
Oh no.
Jersey.
Not New Jersey.
Scarier than any ghost we've ever had to deal with before.
Guys, I got a gun. We're fine.
Say, as a real life New Yorker, this is horrible. Like, I don't
Right?
want to go to Jersey.
Right.
Oh no. All right. Well, that makes me a little more worried now that he apparently has, quote, crazy inventions. And none of them are here. We should see if we can find his desk where he works.
Yeah, I was gonna say, that he works at the Nakatomi Corporation at their New York headquarters. So if you were to go there and just be like, "Hey, we're investigating this. Can we like see this guy's office?" They would probably show you because, yeah.
Okay. All right.
I've been told everything is legal in New Jersey. It's true. It's true.
All right, then I will. I'll continue tearing through other stuff while they continue to experiment with mirrors.
Yeah. Experimenting with the mirror and the TV. Roll me moves.
All right, I'm gonna do it. 11.
Nothing out of the ordinary happens. You turn on the TV, you get static. It's reflected in the mirror. Turn off the TV. Static goes away. Nothing different.
That's super weird.
Oh, did the name, I guess the cinematographer, director, whoever it is who wrote the letter, that's not like is that a popular name? Like, I'm
Dario
assuming
Fulci?
not. Yeah.
Dario Fulci. Have you ever heard that name? I would say that the casual moviegoer in the 80s probably wouldn't have. But a cult moviegoer may have. This would be something that like Maurice could use guess on.
Yeah.
Also, we got a cat on cam, so that's important. Just gonna take a minute to recognize.
Like a Giallo kind of director guy, maybe.
Ted.
If Ted is like Ted is lover of bizarre and strange movies. So there's a
Any
potential.
spaghetti westerns. Like, I don't know.
Yeah,
I was-
exactly. That's what I'm saying. Yeah.
Yeah, it definitely sounds like an Italian director name. But
Mm.
oh, Ted, I didn't know you like giallo movies. That's fun. But yeah, if someone wants to, yeah, if like Maurice wanted to roll
I'll give it
guess
to
on it,
Maurice. Yeah.
For sure. Wow. Wait. Oh no, that wasn't. I still need
That
to
was
roll.
just
That was just brains. I need to roll an actual guess roll. 22 on a guess.
of course you've heard of Dario Fulci. He's directed so many amazing Italian cult horror movies.
Obviously, I'm so well versed in these.
It's more that like one of your kids is like really into like
Mhm.
gross out horror movies and like made you watch them and you hated it.
Oh yeah.
This guy has a whole thing where there's always like eyeballs getting poked.
Oh
It's no
okay.
good.
One
No
of
good.
those.
Classic.
Grosses
It's
you
the
out.
eyeball guy.
That's the eyeball guy. Lots of colored lighting. You remember hearing, maybe your kid was talking about this. Actually, yeah, let's say your kid was talking about this. They were really excited. This is how you heard this guy's name most recently. Because apparently, they're making another installment of the. Hold on, I need to find the thing. Where the heck is
Very
it?
excited to see what movie this is going to be.
Yeah, Dead End Drive Part 6, Eddie Comes Home, is the next slasher movie in a franchise. And they have a different director like every movie. But I guess Hollywood decided to tap Dario to direct this one because he's made a lot of money for the studio with some of his Italian imports, so they were like, why not give it to the guy? And yeah, that was something your kid was talking about, how it's like a big deal. They're filming it in around New Jersey, where they film all of those all the installments in that franchise.
Yeah, I'll relay that information.
All right. Huh. So a horror director wants an engineer who got possibly kidnapped by a ghost to bring his crazy inventions to the set. Man, this is wild. Anything
Wait.
with those mirrors?
I
I continue to like pull the fridge out. Like
Pull the fridge out, check it. Nothing's happening with those mirrors. I'm sorry to say.
So from what we knew last time, the like was used by cults to transfer like spiritual energy as like a conduit, like the reverse of our power packs, right? Or the reverse of our
Mhm.
traps. One of the two. Do we know the historical significance, like what society, like what group of people's society was like responsible for that, or is that just like a general thing? Because on top of all of these books, there is that book, that ancient Egypt book, that's on the table as well. Is this wild mad inventor like, we just got a wild mad machine that's spitting out ghosts? Is it like now somebody's wanting to bring him on for horror movies? I'm feeling sus about this.
that's a good point.
So I think I think Maurice is gonna start like looking in this ancient Egypt book. Like basically his arm has gotten tired from waving it in front of the double mirrors, and he'll ask Natalie to like swap him out, and then he'll go and like check he'll go and check on the book.
I mean, you could take the book with you if you want.
Yeah.
It looks like ancient Egyptian architecture mostly.
Yeah, he'll take it.
There's some extensive things about the pyramids and how they were built and some temples, stuff like that.
Useful.
But yeah, if you want to know stuff like what you were asking about with the ancient cults and the rituals, you can find that out, but that would require you to be like, okay, my character is gonna like go to the library
Yeah.
and study this for some period of time,
For sure.
and then I would probably give you some more information on it. But given the resources you currently have, you can't get too much deeper into that than what you already know.
Okay. Yeah, Maurice is like, he's just taking shit now. He's grabbed a book, had a magazine.
Yeah.
Like
Amazing.
taking, like
Just
borrowing,
stealing.
taking.
Just whoa,
Well, I
borrowing.
mean, he doesn't have anything here anyways.
Yeah, there's not really much else we haven't, I don't think, like ransacked at this point. Is there?
No, I don't think so. It doesn't seem that way.
Check all of the pockets and all of his suits and dress shirts in the closet. So he's got business cards or other funky stuff in those. Were there dirty clothes?
Yeah, there'd be some dirty clothes.
Okay,
Not
all
a
right. I
lot
was like,
though.
this guy just not wear clothes. Like he has like all of these clothes and doesn't ever do laundry. Like his one outfit is what he got stolen. It is a cartoon, so who knows?
He's
He's
got
You
that.
open the
real,
door and it's like 6 identical suits.
Yeah,
Mhm.
it's just he's got real Doug Funny energy. No, it's one of the vibe you get from it is that it's like that he lives here, like he sleeps here, and he like gets up and takes a shower and brushes his teeth, and he might like eat a meal here briefly or like read something for a few hours, but he spends very little of his time in this apartment.
Okay. This is a guy who lives at work mostly.
That is the vibe you're getting after searching this place thoroughly.
That makes sense. There's also not personal computers aren't a super common thing, so the computers at work. Okay. All right, I'm that's what I'm gonna say. We should check out where this guy works. And also we should get out of this building before somebody accidentally summons some other ancient ghost from somewhere.
That's fair. I think that's a good idea.
I don't see any other leads here. TV strat hasn't worked.
Sorry.
So gotta take the mirror though.
Seems
Take the
legit.
mirror with you. Head out of the apartment. It's cold in this building. It was cold in the apartment. It's cold in the whole building. You head out of the building. There isn't really any other spooky supernatural incidents. I assume somebody leaves word at the front desk that you finished up in there. And you can head to the Nakatomi Corporation R&D facility in Manhattan.
Before we leave, I want to tell the front desk person I want to leave like one of our cards with the front desk, and I'd be like, when those HVAC people show up to fix this, could you have them call us when they're done? I want to know what they find out.
Yeah, the guy looks kind of perplexed at you and just be like, "Yeah, okay."
Listen, our
sure.
arcade, our where we work, we need a new HVAC system. So if they can do this, they could do a small place.
And the guy's like, "Oh yeah, no, that makes sense. Sure, yeah, I'll let him. I'll give them your contact info."
All right.
Planning ahead.
Yeah, you know.
Like it.
You head out, get back in the Winnebago, and make your way to the Nakatomi Corporation R&D headquarters in Midtown Manhattan. And we're going to take a belated break.
Much needed. We are going to try and be back in 5 to 10 minutes. Actually, it's roughly 10 minutes at this point because I know how long it is because of our ad reel. If this is your first time joining us, please enjoy some classic advertisements, and we will be back as soon as we can. All right, everybody. See you soon.
The Really Real Ghostbusters will return after these messages. We now return to the Really Real Ghostbusters.
Hello, everybody, and welcome. We really pushed it on the break, but we're back. That's the part that counts. We're here. We're having a good time. Lex, take us away.
I believe I was asked a question about a companion. What companion was being referred to?
Oh, no. My Zoom window was like, Natalie doesn't exist.
Oh, I see.
We're good.
That
Just like,
companion.
oh no.
Not like this.
Okay, so the group has gotten to the Nakatomi Enterprises building. It's part of a larger like complex of buildings on this street. Let me see if I have anything specific. Yeah, it's R&D. Yeah. Otherwise, I mean, it's just got the big logo up above the entrance to the building.
Well,
Head, lead the way.
yeah, I'll head inside. We'll
Sure.
go right up to the front desk. Or well, describe to me the inside of the Nakatomi Corporation.
It's so there's a front desk with a lady, a secretary type person. There's a bunch of televisions that are all set around the room. Oh, you know what? They probably have one of those big displays where it's like a bunch of TVs stacked on top of each other, like in a grid, and it's all one big image that's playing across all of them. That was like freaking cutting edge
That was
technology
a
in
big
the
deal.
80s.
Yeah.
And it's playing like music videos and yeah, it's probably just tuned to MTV. They're hip. They're with it.
What's on? What's on? Just out of curiosity. If I had to put you on the spot
Oh,
right now.
well, oh no, I mean it's probably would be The Outfield, one of their music videos. That's what we had a commercial for last time
Yeah,
on the show.
fair. All right, that
Uh,
works. So yeah, I'll go up to the front desk.
Cool.
I don't.
The lady's like, hello, sir, what can I help you with?
Yeah, we're Ghostbusters. We're here investigating a very important case. And one of your employees, Mr. Tanaka, I hear he worked here.
Oh, Vince? Yeah. I think, and she like flips through some papers, and she's like, "Oh, yeah, right here. Belvedere said you'd be coming. Said
Great.
to give you access to main floors and Tanaka's offices. And she like presses a button on the desk, and and like a door to her right like unlocks. And she's like, okay, so it's through there, and if you just go down, it's gonna be the last door on the right is his office. I think his coworker should be there. Steve.
Steve, got it. All right.
She's like, I'm sorry, Dr. Gutenberg is his name, but yeah.
Can you
Great.
tell us anything about Steve?
Well, he's
He's a bit of a
he's
city slicker, would you say?
he's a pretty handsome guy, but I mean, this you get the vibe that this woman is a little bit infatuated with this guy.
I see.
But she's like, oh, but he's been working here for a few years. He and Vince, I think, came over at the same time. That was before I got hired on.
Hmm. Were they close?
Oh yeah, Vince and Steve, yeah, two peas in a pod. But go talk to him. I'm sure he'll answer any questions you need to know.
Yeah, thank you.
All right. I will go follow the path to find Vince's desk. Or Steve.
Yeah, either one. You walk down the hallway. There's a lot of doors to either side that are leading to R&D areas, and a lot of them have those little glass windows in them, so you can like peek in if you want. Most
Yeah, I'll peek in the first one. Let's peek in the first one, see what's in there.
Looks like there's like a stereo system set up, and like a person sitting in front of it in a armchair, and the stereo system is like arranged, like all the speakers are arranged around them, and you can't hear anything, but you like are peeking in, and suddenly like the glass rattles a little bit, and the person just goes and all their hair is like blown back. And then they just sort of look off to in another direction at someone who you don't have an angle on, and they're just like
all right. And then I will just keep going. That was enough for me.
We're in a cartoon.
Yeah. I know. So yeah.
Cool. Yeah, you can get to the office at the last door on the right. And yeah, it says yeah, Dr. Tanaka, Dr. Gutenberg, um, engineering, R&D, and you open it up, and man, this place is a mess. There's what hits you is just the sheer amount of stuff that's in this room. It's a two-person office and a fairly spacious two-person office, but it is just crammed with so many things. A lot of it's trash. There's like candy wrappers on the desks and stuff, but also like tons of electronics, some of which are like half taken apart. There's let's see here. There's a mini fridge. There's like a TV with a Sega Master System hooked up to it. There's a bunch of like empty Coke cans. I'm sorry, there's a bunch of empty new Coke cans. And there's like yeah, I mean all sorts of junk. Like electronic toys basically all over the place. And there are two desks, one of which no one's sitting at. The other, there is a guy with a Walkman who seems to be listening to something, so he doesn't hear the door open, and his back is to you.
This is not what I expected. I guess it's a little bit of what I expected, but I'll go over and I'll just like knock on the desk.
He sees that and he like takes the headphones off. He's like, "Oh, I'm sorry. Whoa, hey, whoa, you folks are you exterminators?"
Of a kind.
I I just have this vision of Natalie pulling out the gun and be like, "Oh my god!"
Oh my god.
Or Mallory, sorry.
Maurice is eating
I'm
a
not
discarded
threatening him
candy
with
bar.
a gun yet.
No, I just like the image of that is so good. Yeah, Maurice is eating mixed nuts. And
No, he's eating a discarded candy bar. Like, if there's like all sorts of like trash and half foods that's
Oh,
littered
no.
around, like he's just like grabbed it and just like yeah,
Guys,
this
like-
baby Ruth was totally mine before I walked
Yeah.
in here.
Guys, like the guy holds his hand out. He's like, "Hey, Dr. Gutenberg, nice to meet you."
Hi, yeah, I'm Ted. Listen, we're the Ghostbusters, and we're investigating your partner.
The Ghostbusters. Wow.
The really real ones.
The really real. Oh, I mean, I've seen your commercials. You don't look the same as. I thought you were all
As what?
guys.
We're very progressive.
Oh.
Listen.
Just
I-
exchanges glances with Mallory. It's just
What?
Listen, your friend here, Vince, right? Vince? Yeah, that's his name.
Yep.
They're paying us to look into this. Were you guys messing with supernatural stuff?
He looks at you. He's like, "Were we messing with supernatural stuff?" I mean, no. We make TVs, man.
Do you know where
gut-
he is?
My gut says insight check, but this isn't D&D. So
Not
I don't-
D&D. He's just like, "Look, everyone's flipping out that Vince is missing. He's been gone for 2 days. He's probably just out partying or something. I mean, the guy lets loose every once in a while. I'm sure he's gonna show back up. Gonna be
Where did
fine."
he go partying?
Oh, well, we around New York, different places. He's also got a lot of friends in Hollywood. Sometimes he'll fly out there. I mean, we came up together, Caltech. So then he was from San Francisco. I was from Santa Cruz. Met down there. Went through college together. Got hired on to Nakatome pretty early, right after graduation, in the most of the audio departments. I mean, Vince was really in charge of a lot of the all of the cassette mastering and stuff, reducing ground noise, stuff like that. He's really a whiz with that tech. And yeah, like we worked together pretty much ever since. But yeah, Vince can party when he wants to.
Doesn't track with anything. I mean, maybe not, but
Maybe not. If you look around, actually, if you want to look around the office more thoroughly, I can give you some more specific items. But he's just like, yeah, I mean, anything you want to know. Like I said, I don't really think anything terrible happened to Vince. I think he's probably fine. But
Why wouldn't he tell you where he was going? If he was gonna just like not come to work.
well, I can't say that I'm not a little offended. I would have liked to know if he had something cool he was going to do, but I mean, he could be secretive about stuff, especially lately.
Especially lately. I'm being like unnecessarily detective-y.
He's just like, oh well, the higher ups tapped him for some new R&D stuff that's like real hush hush. I don't even know what it's about, but again, like we make TVs. I don't know why any of this would deal with ghosts or whatever. But I really don't. I think he's probably just like out. Last I heard from him, he was mentioning something about one of his friends. Yeah, was in Jersey, and he was going to see. He was thinking about going to see him, like a movie shoot or something. I mean, free craft services, get to hobnob with some actors, actresses, stunt people. Vince always really was interested in a lot of the technical stuff they did there. That was sort of his whole Hollywood side of him. But he wasn't sure if he was going to go. I mean, I guess he decided to, right?
I don't trust this guy at all.
You don't trust Steve Guttenberg?
I trust Steve Guttenberg, but this version of him, does he look like Steve Guttenberg?
He does. He looks exactly like Steve Guttenberg.
Got that damn trustworthy face.
He looks at you. He's like, Twinkie? He holds up a Twinkie.
Oh.
Can't resist a Twinkie.
All right.
And these are good 80s Twinkies, not stuff we have nowadays.
Mm-hmm.
Actual cake.
Oh yeah, I mean, I guess I should give a description. If you know what Steve Guttenberg looks like from the movie Short Circuit,
yeah,
he looks like that. He's got jeans. He's got like a button-up shirt and a tie, but the tie is like really loose and the shirt's like kind of untucked. And he's got like sneakers, and then he's got like a lab coat on over that.
Mm-hmm.
Is there a Johnny Five in process somewhere in this room?
In the room you don't see a Johnny Five,
okay.
But there is a knock at the door. And Steve's like, oh, hold on. He opens up the door, and in the doorway is a robot on wheels that's like, hello, Steve. And Steve's like, Johnny Five. He's like, what are my creations? And he gives him like a pat on the head.
Okay. Wow, we're real advanced in our robotics.
I mean, Johnny Five is not as advanced in this as he is in like the Short Circuit film.
I was gonna say he's not craving input and reading books in like a split second.
Right, and he's not like used by the U.S. Defense Department.
Yeah.
Yeah, but I will point out that the tech in this universe is pretty advanced because you have an unlicensed nuclear accelerator on your back. So Johnny Five existing would actually be like, would kind of make sense. Yeah, he's in that. He's just like, Johnny Five's like, hey, who are your friends? And his fun little robot expressive face with his eyebrows like moves.
We're Ghostbusters.
It's like, whoa, cool, dude. Says the robot. And Steve looks at him. He's like, Johnny, how much time have you been spending in the lobby watching MTV? Johnny's just like,
nice.
And Giant's like, spring break 20 or spring break 1986, baby. And then his arms both go up in the air and he does like a 360 spin.
Oh my god, adorable.
Yeah, I guess I'll pull out the PKE meter and just like walk around their lab. Is this
Yeah.
also immune to
No.
Ghostbusting technology?
Okay. You walk around the lab with the PKE meter. You're not getting any signals in this room at all.
Okay.
You're looking around at the different stuff. There's like so yeah, there's the Sega Master in like Vince's area, right? There's a Sega Master System TV. There's like an Apple computer. There's and there's some like toys and knickknacks. Like there's a few like a lot there's like some Transformers, right? A lot of the toys in the 80s that were either electronic or could do something like interesting. So like the Transformers that can, be transformed into different ways. There was a couple of those. And there's also like a Teddy Ruxpin on a shelf.
Just for reference, while I'm here and we're not in that weird anti-ghost technology building, is Natalie still coming up as same on this PKE meter as before? I want to make sure it's not getting worse.
It's not getting worse now.
Or I guess more intense. It could, maybe worse isn't the right term.
Well, I mean, I would call it
I
worse.
was gonna say, yeah.
I know you're valid.
Yeah, it's just like, well, I guess, potentially, although I'm not sure how clued in Mallory is to exactly how all of the technology works after what we saw in some of the instances, but like the lights or whatever will definitely go up whenever kind of move past Natalie with the PK meter. Because I keep forgetting you don't know that.
Oh yeah, no.
That she's like part ghost right now.
Part ghost.
Do I notice you like being a little weird around her?
Just like, walking around and then just like, okay, just keep walking.
Okay, I wouldn't think anything of it.
If it was anyone else but Ted.
That's fair.
Yeah.
Fair.
Okay.
Like, I'm sure he knows what he's doing.
Let's see. Oh wait, he said they did like ground noise cancellation stuff.
Well, they worked in audio cassette stuff, because this place makes like stereo systems and TVs. That's why they got hired. Oh, I'm sorry, I'll say this in character. Yeah, that was why we got hired. I mean, we came up doing that stuff in Caltech. Vince was especially like a whiz at that stuff. I can show you some of the current R&D, some of the main areas, if you want to look at some of the stuff that's being worked on.
Sure, could be useful.
Yeah.
So to do any of the removal of grounding noise or whatever it is, do you just put it into one of your machines that you got around here and it just hop skips makes it fix, or
it's just like, well, it's a little more complicated than that. There's a lot of you really got to have like a frequency filter, and it gets pretty technical, but it's more that we try to manufacture stereos that eliminate as much noise as possible.
You got one of those lying around?
It's just like, well, yes.
Here. Okay, I'm gonna be real with you. We might need to borrow one for the time being in order to it's part of the investigation, like we may have found some evidence linked to some supernatural sounds, and you know what, I know that you're in the process, you still need your research money. We're getting paid good from Mr. Belvedere, as I'm sure you are, being a technician. Let's say we strike a bargain here. If you were willing to possibly lower your inventory of one of these stereo systems, how much would that probably run us? You know, I'm guessing I got a stereo of my own. Is it one of those things where you just like you could even upgrade it?
Make a cool roll.
Can I use my bargain skill?
Yes,
Ooh.
you can.
Ooh,
20, no ghost die.
Like,
Nice.
dang.
Did you roll
That is
anything
your
sub-
night.
Yes, nothing sub 20 tonight, right?
No, not for Maurice. Maurice's lowest roll has
Wow.
been this at a 20.
The Steve is like, okay, listen. I have wanted for like ever since I heard about you guys to take a look at some of the tech that you're messing with. It is cool as shit. I've got some of our testing equipment that I keep here for, work purposes.
It's test, yeah.
Yeah, if you wanna borrow some of that, but like I could take a look at some of your stuff, I'd be happy to make that happen, off the record.
Did someone say borrow?
I did hear the operative word.
So yeah, if you want some audio, what would the term be? Audio editing or audio cleaning hardware. He can lend you some of that stuff, but he wants to take a look at some of the Ghostbusters, some of the classic Ghostbusters equipment, because he
Oh,
just
yeah.
seems to think it's really cool.
I mean,
It is really cool.
Yeah.
It is really cool.
Okay. I mean, Maurice headed this endeavor. He has a proton pack and an infrared camera on him.
The infrared camera is
I have a
not particularly
proton pack.
special.
So we
Yeah.
can leave a proton pack.
Yeah, I mean, he would love to take a look at a proton pack or a ghost trap.
Yeah, I also have a trap on me, so if we want to do that.
Okay, how about this? What do we feel more comfortable giving a crazy engineer
True.
the ability to backwards engineer?
True.
Proton pack.
I don't want to give him a proton pack is dangerous even in trained hands. We wrecked a large part of a museum, most
Yeah.
of a Macy's, part of the subway. We're not exactly, and we're as trained as one can be.
Yeah. We
I mean, I've
maybe-
seen
maybe
Police
just a
Academy.
trap.
I don't
Maybe
want to
just a
give
trap.
Steve Gutenberg a proton pack.
Yeah.
What?
So maybe just
Steve
a trap.
Gutenberg should have been in a Ghostbusters movie. Really a crime that he wasn't, honestly.
Yeah, he would have fit in just fine. He could have been
Mhm.
Louis Tully.
For sure.
Anyway.
A PKE meter?
Maybe. I think the
No.
trap. I think he wants the trap or the pack. So
Yeah.
Yeah.
I feel like out of the two, the trap is the safest. Because, like, what is he gonna do with that?
accidentally make things safer by trapping a ghost.
Yeah,
I was
exactly.
gonna say, I hope that
there you go.
that's-
It's like
yeah.
it
It
should be
seems
fine.
the
Fair.
safest.
Yeah, that's a fair argument.
Okay. So you folks can trade him a trap, and you can get like a hi-fi audio processing unit.
Ooh,
Okay.
very cool.
Okay. Whoever's trading him the trap, write that down in your inventory.
Yeah, I gotta take the card off of my hand.
He's just
And
he
did-
gets the trap. He's like, "Oh my god, this is so cool."
Did Vince have any? Were there any like specific? So we know he came here to work, and we know he's like a workaholic, or
Yeah.
maybe a party guy. I'm very confused. None
Well,
of
here's
this
the
adds up. You know?
He definitely spends a lot of time here because this place is very lived in. Oh, you can find all those VHS tapes that were
Okay,
not
they're
in his
here.
apartment are all here. It's like he just didn't take the cases because he was lazy.
Okay.
But most of them are like in various VCRs at different points in the tapes.
Oh, okay. Here I'm like, oh my god, he must be re-recording over them for some crazy thing.
Yeah.
And
so
then he just
that-
watches the movies at work, I guess.
Yeah,
Whatever.
that's exactly like Steve's like, oh yeah, he's got a certain scenes that he likes to watch. He cues them up.
All right. Does he have like? Is there like paperwork or printouts or? Basically, I'm looking for that Manila folder that says like confidential
super
from
secret.
the super secret thing. That's like, this is the stuff he's working on that we're not supposed to know about.
Yeah.
That for some
Yes.
reason he leaves on his desk.
He
and
leaves
why-
on his desk.
You know what I mean?
If you're looking around for that, you don't
Yeah.
find anything.
Okay.
And meanwhile, Johnny Five is attempting to learn to juggle in the back. And it's not going well. And Steve is like, no, that's oh God. But
Johnny
Johnny Five. And so yeah, Steve and Johnny Five are having a little father son moment over in that part of the room. Ted is looking through stuff. What are other people doing?
Mm.
Oh, I will point out with the stereo unit, has a bunch of knobs on it, a lot of different settings. It's the kind of thing that, like, yeah, you could set it up and start using it, but it's like a several hour process to like
Oh.
go through the audio and like find the frequencies and that kind of thing.
Yeah,
depending on what you're trying to do.
I think that Maurice is probably just like, all right, like starting to already just like fiddle with it.
Yeah, there's like a pair of headphones you found that you plugged into it. You're like listening to stuff. What tape are you messing with?
Yeah, I'm gonna check out spooky tape that we found.
The spooky tape you found.
Yeah, because on the other side it was all distorted and had the internet sounds going on to it. So I'm gonna start on that B side and just be going to town on the knobs.
As it were.
Cool. You're doing that. Yeah, what are Mallory and Natalie doing? You want to check out the other labs? You want to talk to Steve Gutenberg? You want to hang out with Johnny Five? You want to play the Sega Master System?
Oh, as much as I want to do that. Considering there was a tape in the apartment, I kind of want to look around and see if there's a tape missing or there's a group of tapes somewhere that I can kind of match that to, just around the lab, around the offices, kind of around anywhere that Vince would have been.
There is, if you're looking through the stuff, you will find a drawer that has a bunch of cassettes in it. And a lot of them are like mixtapes. So, like a lot of pop hits. One of them is like, like Cyndi Lauper mix. And,
Yeah.
and you notice that the cassettes they were recorded on are the same brand as the one that you found at the apartment, right? Except these are all labeled. And you're flipping through. There's a stereo with a cassette player in it. And you're going through, and you're looking through them. And then, like, the last one you pull out, and it's not the same brand. It has a sticker over it written in Sharpie that's like another mix. Like, what would be a good thing? I should know this. I listen to so much 80s music. I should Dire Straits, probably. Like Dire Straits mix. And it but the brand is completely different. This is a Teddy Ruxpin cassette tape, but it looks like he taped over it with this music mix and then slapped a label on it. I wrote that on it.
Yeah, I'll single that one out. And also, yeah, there must be something to play this on in the office. So I'll go ahead.
Oh, yeah.
There's the Teddy Ruxpin that was on the toy shelf.
Yeah.
Well, there is the Teddy Ruxpin that was on the toy shelf.
I'm curious to see what it's going to sound like coming out of a Teddy Ruxpin.
May as well.
Oh, good. Thank goodness. This Brothers in Arms was released in 85. This reference does make sense. This Dire Straits song. I was like, did that come out in 87? So yeah, you can grab that and so there is a stereo system with a cassette player in there, but you can also pull the Teddy Ruxpin off the shelf and put that tape in if you want.
You know what? Just for the last of it, we're gonna go for the Teddy Ruxpin. Let's do it.
You pop the tape in the Teddy Ruxpin and hit play, and you hear, Money for Nothing starts playing. There's that like I want my MTV. But the Teddy Ruxpin doesn't move. The cassette just plays, and the Teddy Ruxpin is still. And Steve might notice that and be like, "Hey, Dire Straits." And he looks over and he's like, "Oh, don't play it with the bear. I mean, you're gonna get there's a really nice stereo system right there. Just use a stereo system."
Don't these
With
things
the
usually
vibes.
move?
Oh, well, that's the thing. With the Teddy Ruxpin, it's both sides of the tape. So one side is the audio and the other side is the information that gets sent to the bear to have it move and blink and all that stuff.
What is happening?
Yeah,
Magic.
Natalie looks over to Maurice then.
Just do. Like, I'll get to the center. I'll get to the source of this.
Hey, Maurice, would I be able to borrow that tape?
He hands it back to you.
Okay,
At this point, I assume that he's still in the mindset of we're getting paid by the day, and he has since stopped trying to figure it out, and he's tuned in listening to a Cubs game or something like that.
My God.
It's got a radio on it.
Yeah. It's listening to Chicago sports. He's dialed it into their radio.
Yeah.
And I'll try to put it onto the B-side that we didn't understand before. That was nonsensical to us.
You throw that tape into the Teddy Ruxpin, and the Teddy Ruxpin starts moving, and it says the same thing it said in the office. So it starts reciting pi, but the mouth moves and the eyes open and shut. And Steve sees that and is just gives you this weird look, and Johnny Five is like, "Vince, it's Vince," and points over at the bear. And Steve's like, "No, that's Johnny. That's not Vince. That's a recording." It's like, recording of Vince.
Oh, Johnny.
We love him. That's really interesting. I guess that's what the B-side meant. It's supposed to go to something like this.
I look over at Steve Gutenberg, Dr. Gutenberg.
Dr. Gutenberg?
Say. Any idea why Vince would have a recording of him saying 39 digits of pi?
He's just like, well, I couldn't imagine why you would have anything like that. And then he's just like, oh, I have a meeting. Look at the time. He just starts heading towards the door.
Oh, no. I'm not good at convincing people to tell me things.
You could rough him up. You could rough up Steve
could rough him up.
Gutenberg. Yeah.
Pull out a gun, be like,
Hold
"You're
it
gonna
right
tell us
there.
You're not going anywhere.
Oh, God.
You leave when Mallory says you can leave.
How did it come to this?
Who knew that one little altercation with a police officer in the museum could become a defining character personality trait?
I'm sorry. So what do people do?
I'm sorry.
Do they stop
I'll
Steve
hold him
Gutenberg?
up.
Sure.
Yeah. I'll be like, hey. What meeting?
He's just like, oh, big engineering meeting. I just really gotta get to that. I'm sorry, I can't help more. And he's trying to shift his way out of this office as you're kind of standing in his way.
Oh, I will pretend to do the thing where you try to move out of each other's way, but end up keeping blocking each other. So I'll just keep blocking. I'm like,
Yeah.
oh, sorry, so sorry. I mean, it's so strange. Surely, as the person who knows him best, you would know why he would have a cassette like this.
I would, I mean, Vince and I mean, we were close, but I don't know, I don't know anything about this. I would like you to make some kind of roll for me. Um,
A
this
cool
would,
Cool?
this would be
Like,
cool.
you're
This would
cool,
definitely be
yeah.
cool.
I was gonna say you're the one of the coolest.
Yeah.
I'm one of the coolest. 14.
Maybe.
Yeah. I mean, Steve Gutenberg, how strong-willed is Steve Gutenberg, really?
Dr. Steve Gutenberg.
Dr. Steve Gutenberg.
Yeah. He's just like his voice just gets down to a whisper. He's like, "Look, you guys gotta understand. I like you, but this place is major. I mean, the stuff Vince was working on, I don't know anything about it. He couldn't tell me. Nobody could know. But I do know that to get into the lab that does it, you needed voice ID and retinal scan and a password.
Hmm.
And I know that he modded that Ruxpin because he would always complain that he could never remember the goddamn password. So he said he was just going to record it. But I was like, Vince, you can't record it because you need to do the voice and the eye scan at the same time. And the next day I saw him tinkering with that Ruxpin, you know? So, you didn't hear it from me, okay? I didn't say anything.
That's really interesting.
Does the
Um,
Ruxpin's eyes look
Yeah.
different?
Now I'm terrified of what
Yeah.
this Ruxpin
It's
looks
like a
like.
human eye inside of
Oh,
this teddy
God.
Ruxpin.
Well, that's the
It's
thing,
like
right?
real horror today.
Do
Yeah,
you
for
know?
real.
Do you know do you have a regular Teddy Ruxpin to compare? But the eyes do look more. They don't look like human eyes.
That's
But they
good.
look
Okay.
like the Teddy Ruxpin is cheap plastic. But now that he mentions it, that you look into the eyes of the thing, they look like much nicer than the whole rest of the unit.
Like, look, man, I know you don't have a meeting. It's okay. We don't want to bother you much longer. So if you could just tell me one more thing, where does he go to use the password?
What?
With this password that he has, like, where does he go to use the thing?
Oh yeah, no, it's down that hall. You'll see a sign for like restricted area, and he can like point you in that direction.
You're not pulling my leg.
It's like he's like, no, I'm not. Listen, I wouldn't. But you know, this whole place is decked out in security cameras. If you go over there, they're gonna see you.
It's okay. This could be critical information, though, if he really is missing. Thank you. You've done a good deed.
He's like, oh well, yeah. I mean, that's me. And
All right, well, thank you. And I'll go tell everybody else and be like, look, guys, do we think this is actually a supernatural occurrence?
Buddy but me saw weird stuff in a mirror. Or something
I saw
like
weird
that.
stuff in a mirror.
Weird stuff in a mirror right here.
Okay.
Mhm.
Yeah.
well, Natalie saw weird stuff in a fridge.
Well,
Fridge,
Yeah.
mirror, you know. It's all
A different
the same.
Fridge is
tiny
the
whitey
mirror
thing.
to the soul.
but I mean, I'd also like to point out that the label on that thing that we found in the subway leads us
That's
here.
Right. That's right. I forgot about that.
Mhm.
Right.
The Nakatomi
Hmm.
Corporation device.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think. Oh
If
my
anything,
God.
they know what's going on. The
All
ghost
of
might
those
not be involved,
strings.
but they know.
How do we get
Okay.
past security?
When you say that, Maurice will say, I think I got an idea. And he'll look down at Johnny Five.
No.
You
Number
have to
five.
get Johnny
Johnny Five.
Five involved in hijinks in order to distract everybody.
Johnny Five like looks up at you and he's like, "Hey, dude," and his eyebrows wiggle.
Maurice will squat down, say, "Have you ever learned how to skateboard before?"
And he's like, "Skateboard, shred, pop a wheelie, ollie. I've read all the literature."
You
All
don't
the right
kickflip,
lingo.
Johnny Five.
Maurice, if there's like if he can find a length of board with some wheels on it, like a cleaning washboard or something like that, because sometimes they'll have those, or like something, I don't know.
Furniture
Basically, give Johnny Five a skateboard, and tell him to just like make mischief somewhere. Because I know he can't do the kicks, but I'm pretty sure in the movies his arm like extends down and he like pushes himself forward.
Yeah, I think that does happen. At least in Short Circuit too.
Yeah.
Yeah, you can do that.
Yeah, Maurice is he's gonna team up with Johnny and say, "We're gonna play tag. I'll chase you."
Oh my god.
Oh god.
And he'll like
He's
give
like-
a thumbs up to the rest, but then he'll start to like, "Hey, he has my such and such a thing," and like chase after Johnny to try and get security like involved in this chase.
Oh my god.
Oh, I
The,
guess we're
Oh,
doing this
boy.
now. Okay.
Johnny Five is like, "Oh, I love tag. Let's play.
So
Bet you can't catch me."
Chaos.
and so Maurice is gonna like, for if we end the scene here, anything like that, Maurice is like he will be involved with scampering around with Johnny Five.
If we are, just imagine like the JoJo's to be continued with Maurice running down the hall. And you'll know JoJo's Bizarre
It has
Adventures.
to
That's what
have
I
like the
think of.
sepia. It starts playing Yes as the like like next time at the bottom.
Yeah,
See you
I
later,
love-
Space Maurice.
Yeah.
Oh,
I was
so
not expecting that.
do you want to try and make a roll for it, or do you want to just use some brownie points? and
How
make
many
it
brownie
happen?
points would I have to use to cause hijinks?
This is hilarious because it involves Johnny Five, so you can do it for 3. I'll let you
Oh,
just do
hell
it
yeah!
for 3.
I'm
Yeah.
definitely gonna expend 3 brownie points to cause hijinks with Johnny Five in Nakatomi Tower.
Yeah, right.
You run off into another part of the R&D labs with Johnny Five. Johnny Five is laughing, being like, "Yeah, he on a skateboard. You can't catch me." And just you hear like a crash at some point. The rest of the group,
It's
and an
doing that
alarm
thing
goes
where
off.
It shows like the top, like above where Johnny Five is, and it just shows like things ruffling and moving, so that way like you have the illusion that he's
Over
riding
cubicle
underneath.
walls, like just,
Yeah,
you know.
yes,
Yeah,
it's exactly
just
like
papers exploding. People like, whoa!
Uh,
So Maurice and Johnny Five are gone. The rest of the group, you know where the off limits area is,
Mhm.
and you got the Teddy Ruxpin.
Let's go.
yeah,
Alright.
I guess we go.
Do it.
Yeah, as you're heading down that hallway, you see 2 security guards come out of a side room and head in the opposite direction, being like, "It's that damn robot again." The other one's like, "I feel like we get calls for that like every week." So you get to the off limits area, a very imposing large metal door, with what looks like a retinal scanner and a little microphone built into the wall.
Hmm.
Play it again.
You take the
Yeah.
bear. You gonna hold it up to the thing?
Yeah, I guess, right? That's what we have to
Mhm.
do.
Mm-hmm.
And then
Yeah.
move
Yeah,
the-
it says the formula of pi to the 39th digit. And you just hear like a pre-recorded voice say, scanning. Retinal scan accepted. Dr. Vince
Yes.
Tanaka, and then you hear chink as the door unlocks and opens.
Well, time to commit to the bit, y'all.
Yeah, right.
In we go.
There you go. You're into the
I like
secret
how
lab.
Maurice somehow ended up not having to go.
Yeah. Well, again, Mallory wasn't there when we were running in to bust the ghosts in the street, and he's on the car
True.
phone calling them TV to give them
True.
his information.
True.
I
gosh.
was not indeed.
So he got through. I got through though. I got to stay. That's too funny.
This leads in two directions. There is there's a files area, and there is the off limits R&D labs.
Should we split up?
Nobody's got a walkie-talkie. And how could
I
this
have
end
a
poorly?
walkie-talkie.
Well, wait,
You have
Yeah, I
a singular walkie.
And I didn't bring my walkie-talkie. None of you ever bring your walkie-talkies.
no,
I did.
don't.
It's
We-
there in my inventory.
I love that this happens constantly.
Yeah.
We should just bring a bullhorn instead of a walkie-talkie.
Yeah.
I feel like that would serve us better use, at this point.
At this
True.
point.
Yeah.
True.
Hey, I'm over here. Oh, all right. Well, there we go. Follow the sound of my voice.
I'm gonna okay. If you are gonna split up, I'm gonna, because we're running a little low on time, I'm gonna truncate the files room area and then give a fun little scene in the R&D lab area. So, are you going to split up?
I think I would.
Yeah, I think to save
Okay.
time, I think we should.
Yeah.
We
I'll
shouldn't
go
spend
to
a lot
the
of time in
R&D.
here.
I'll
All
go
right.
to R&D because that's, I think, where everything's bad's happening.
Okay.
Okay.
Who's going to files?
I can go to files.
Same.
All right. Go to files. Two people go to files. And
Well, if two,
uh,
I feel like the R&D might be more dangerous, so I could go since I have both a gun and a proton
I was gonna
pack.
say, yeah, I want
that's
Mallory
that's fair. That's
I
very
want-
fair.
You know what? Last
Okay.
time Mallory and I split up and things only went smoothly. We convinced the Triceratops that they needed to help us. So
Mhm.
really,
It's
doing that
true.
well. No. Okay.
We
We're
might
a
leave
good
with
team.
Johnny-
Let's do it.
we might leave with Johnny 5 at the end of this. Who knows?
Oh my
Yeah.
god. Maybe.
You just need to borrow him, and then
Yeah.
that's the key word.
There is Natalie gets into the file area, and actually no, I can't truncate that. Okay, we're gonna do fun cliffhangers for both areas. This will be good.
Ooh, okay.
Natalie walks into the file area, and it's labeled files, and you walk in, and there are no filing cabinets, anything like that. There is instead a rack of servers, and in the center of the room is a large black computer bank with a light on it. And it says, "Hello. Would you
Yes.
like to play a game?"
Oh no.
Meanwhile, the other two characters go into the R&D lab, and you see several things. There is a large satellite dish which has been set up in this high ceilinged room. There are several electronic devices that are, messes of wires and stuff. They're, like half finished prototypes. And there's a desk with some papers on it. Notes, technical stuff.
Okay.
I guess the notes and technical stuff, right? Seems
Sure.
like maybe,
Sure.
especially
I can look
Um,
at the prototypes while you go through this.
Sure.
The notes would have a lot of engineering schematics, really highly technical things. And then there's one handwritten one that says, this came from the very top. I have no idea what they want it for, but it's very exciting tech. And that's like pointing at the like a requisition for like some parts.
Okay.
Can we identify what they go to?
Yeah, are these parts we're familiar with, or
Vaguely, it's like really high-end electronics, like power sources, like the kind of
Okay.
thing that, you know, you ripped out of the train.
Oh,
Computer
okay.
chips, a whole, wow, this thing, 8 megs of RAM, mess around with.
That's insane. There's
It's
no way
insane.
you'll need more than
Gosh.
that.
You could go to
Right?
space on that.
That's what I'm
Exactly.
saying. It's a
Ooh.
future right there.
So yeah, like high-end computing stuff. There's some stuff scribbled in the notes about like satellite tech. Some other things you see about like where there's like notes about like signal bouncing, where it's like you'll see a schematic with like the satellite dish stuff, and then there'll be a note written next to it. It's like change amplitude for better signal bounce ratio or something like that. There's like a question mark, you know, things like that.
It is a ghost building.
This is so fun. Yeah, and as for the hardware equipment that Mallory's checking out, yeah, there's the satellite dish, there's these other parts. Everything's powered down. But after looking at it for a minute, you're like, oh yeah, if you flipped this switch and that switch and this other switch, you could power this up if you wanted.
Sure. Why not?
Excellent.
I love this plan. I'm excited to see what happens.
I just start flipping switches.
You start flipping switches, everything starts to power up. You get that nice hum. Natalie, down the corridor, you hear a low frequency hum in your mind, very similar to when that arcade machine got turned on.
Oh,
And
Ghost.
in the R&D lab, suddenly this machine comes to life. And we get like, oh, the 80s rotoscope lightning is like arcing around. And the reality like warbles a little bit. It's not normal. It doesn't seem good. Your
In the
PKE meter,
lab?
even though it isn't on, starts going off.
Oh no.
Then explodes.
Oh no.
This is so Mallory, this is all happening next to you as you've turned on the equipment and it's powering up.
I'm just like,
It's like, oh, yeah. And suddenly like a bunch of the electricity forms into a somewhat humanoid shape. It's a little goblin-y looking, like a little like hunched dude, and it sort of looks up and it like cackles laughter at you, and then it jumps into an electrical outlet, and then you just see this spark of electricity going up through the wall and into another room.
oh, that's great.
And that
After
is
it.
that is where we're going to stop this session.
That is perfect. I am horrified. This is excellent. Lex, thank you so much for running this game. Oh my god.
I mean, it sounds like we're putting in overtime.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Well, you know, it's part of the retainer. You know, we argued for hazard pay as well as something in our contract. But speaking of contracts, I mean, hey, technically these players are pseudo contracted to play games with me. I really like that. It's a fun time. I say pseudo. It's a
Pseudo
verbal
contract.
contract. It's a
Hello.
verbal contract.
I see.
But I always have a blast whenever these folks are on the channel. Hey Lex, where can we find you? What do you do?
Oh goodness, you can find me on Twitter at Dank Dungeons. There's a link tree on there to all the different things that I do, which include writing RPG supplements, writing music for RPG supplements, and doing various live streams. So feel free to check out and support the stuff that I do. I greatly appreciate it.
Excellent. And Ted, where can we find you? What do you do?
Well, my name is Ted, and I run Nerd Immersion. I cover all sorts of TTRPG related stuff. With this big list of RPGs I have to get through over here. But yeah, I do all sorts of that stuff, primarily over on YouTube. You can see me streaming one night a week with Lex, and then I promise, Indoor, someday we're gonna get this Army of Darkness stream off the ground. So soon.
Yeah, we're just waiting on
TM.
We're waiting on some other stuff to wrap up. But
Yeah.
then
Yes, the Army of Darkness stream will begin. It'll be a good time.
excellent. And M, where can we find you? What do you do?
Hi, I'm Em. You can find me on Twitter at McBoots42. I am a game designer, now officially for realsies. And you can see what I'm up to on Twitter. And yeah.
Excellent. And Sir Heck, where can we find you?
Yeah, hey everybody. You can find me on all of the social medias at SirHeckalot, including Twitch, Twitter, Instagram. I'm everywhere. Just find me. It's the best place to figure out where I'll be in the TTRPG space next. Because I have an itch page. I'm over on Neon Lights Roleplay a whole lot now. I am in Oathsworn Honesty of Dragon Lords over there. I'm in a Frost Maiden campaign over there. And soon we will be starting a Rogue 2E campaign over there that I'm very excited about. We're gonna have some tarot add-ons for it, and it's gonna be so cool. I'm so excited. But other than that, you can find me in a Tyranny of Dragons campaign over on Dat Magic Juice's channel. We'll be starting something over on ESP TTRPG on Thursdays as well.
Man,
I'm
you
gonna be
are
very busy
everywhere.
March. I'm everywhere.
Wow.
And sometimes I pop up around Lost Caravan RPG, so just kind of check them all out. I'm in a whole lot of places.
Incredible. And if you've made it this far, you probably already know who I am. But if you don't, hey, Acorns, what's up? It's me, your buddy, your pal, your friend, the Indoor Adventurer, the showrunner here at twitch.tv/Indoor Adventures. We do shows like this on Monday and Saturday at 5:30 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. Or if you'd like to see more of me somewhere else, you can also check me out on LB Hackamup's Twitch channel on Sundays for a Monster of the Week game that is also going to be possibly wrapping up soon. But don't worry, because I'm still planning on another Sunday night thing here in the future, so pay attention to that. But with that in mind, I would like to say thank you to everybody who decided to stop on by and join us for tonight's session. Thank you to Lex for running an absolutely fantastic game. Thank you to these players for putting up with our bullshit. And of course, we'll see all of you guys next time. But for now, we are going to be going into our Patreon-supported after show called Nights in the Courtyard, where we answer questions not only from each other, but also from the community. So if you have any questions for myself or any of these other fine folk, feel free to join us at patreon.com/indooradventures, where we will do our best to respond to those questions in kind. The best way to ask us those questions, of course, is going to be to join us on Discord at discord.com/gobbledygook. It's in the sidebar or in the description of this Twitch chat down below. Bye, everybody!